Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Rise and Shine College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. If you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. And welcome into the show, one of my co-hosts from the Gridiron Insight, father of Isaiah Autry Dent, our boy, Big Marcus Dent. What's up, my man? How you doing today? It's big
Man,
day.
what's happening? What's happening, man? It was a great weekend, brother. Great weekend, man.
What a
For
weekend.
sure.
What a weekend. Absolutely. Hey, we even got a Clemson guy on here saying Boomer Sooner. My man. Hey, what's up there? Stink ass cat, Brandon Drewski, David Whitehead, and our guy Seawalt from Clemson. What's up, my guys? Welcome into the show, everybody. Can the real Crimson please stand up? Boomer down sooner. Love it. Good morning.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man.
I tell you, it's been a lot of fun, man. You know, I was pretty quiet last week. I was pretty quiet last week. I just gotta say it, man. I just gotta say it. So here for Coach V. Hey, man, I appreciate that too, Seawalt. You know how we were feeling about a month ago. So but yeah, man, you know, it's just one of the things where got a little quiet. I was on Coach Smook's show Friday morning, and you know, and most of them, the AAA fan, they're cool as hell, man. And I gotta say, most of the Alabama fans were pretty chill. They were pretty chill.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know how it was.
I listened to that show. They were pretty chill, man.
Yeah, they were. They were cool with me and stuff. And I mean, the AAA fans cool anyway. But it was, you know, there was a few in there that were like, "We're gonna beat the shit out of y'all." You know, we're gonna beat the brakes off y'all. And I mean, I gotta say, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff that I was gonna sit there and argue for Oklahoma beating them, winning the game. You know, you hadn't been winning.
You couldn't really, man. You really couldn't do it. You know, at that point in time.
Nah, man. I mean, and the thing is, you would hope that they would, and you know, the main thing is that you didn't want to go let them come in there and just smear you all over the palace, you know, and getting beat like that, because you just can't have it. But you know, something I noticed that, and you know, Big Mike ought to be in here any minute now. I hope he has some stuff they're taking care of for Mike Jr. So yeah, but one of the things I was just like, one thing is for sure that you're not going to see Oklahoma lay down here. Senior night, last game in the Palace, it's freaking Oklahoma. They're going to come after you. And I said if Jalen Milroe doesn't get running the football and running it well, they got to make him try to beat him with the pass. And if he can't get running, then they'll be able to be in the game. Man, play two. Danny Stutzman lays the wood to Jalen Milroe, and the dude did not want to run the football anymore, Marcus.
Man, that first time he hit him, and he stopped him in his tracks. And I said to myself, hey, that's a good sign. You know, but you know, Jason, and I'm one of the few, because we got a little bit of an inside track. What did I tell you 2 weeks ago? They have not quit.
No.
I said they have not quit. They still believe in themselves. This team is as close as any team has ever been. And you have to take account of that they're taking on the personality of their head coach, man. For all what he's going through with the team, with his wife and everything, and our prayers go out to him and his family. I mean, the team has just taken on that whole identity. And if you couldn't see it Saturday night, then you're blind.
Well, you saw that when they make a big play, they were pointing at Coach V. You know?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt, man. The thing, me and Marcus Dupree talked about this about a week ago. Mm-hmm. OU fans are spoiled. I mean, they're spoiled. And
rotten.
This is a different era of football.
It is.
It's a different era of football. It's not the same as it was 5 years ago.
Right.
with the transfer portal, and programs have to adapt in their own ways. And I don't think we were allowing OU and the AD and the president and Coach V to adapt in their own way. Everybody wanted them to adapt in their way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think right now what you're seeing is the identity of BV, is the identity of these coaches. And, let's just put this out there. Ole Miss lost Trey Harris. They couldn't function without him. We have lost now 6. We lost 5 guys that was difference makers in our football team.
That's right.
And we're still fighting. So, you got to go back and look at everything. I know everybody want the championship and want to go win 11, 12 games. That's coming, I believe. I believe that's coming. But we have to have time. It's like Novocaine. It don't work as soon as you get it, but over a period of time, it sinks in on you.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. Well, Coach Boone, the Coach Boone coming out of you right now, it's like Novocaine.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Like Novocaine, baby. You got to give it time,
Well, listen, and I agree with you, man. And the thing is I think a lot of people forget that it was only, I mean, this is the 3rd year of him, but 3 years ago, the entire team was basically gutted for any of the guys that were really expected to be big parts of this football program were taken, or they left in the portal, they left in the draft, they left somewhere, right? Not everybody went with Lincoln, but you lost 2 5-star quarterbacks in that deal. It sets you behind a little bit. And because Oklahoma fans are spoiled, and we are spoiled, there's no 2 ways around it. You get used to, this is the winningest program since 2000 as far as just straight games in the regular season. Nobody's close. Nobody's won as many. You hadn't had as many national championships as you'd like to see, but here's the thing. The truth is throughout that entire, not just did Lincoln leave and gut the damn thing, but it also had already been going the other direction, Marcus. It had already been, and when Bob Stoops left, you're seeing it now at SC. It took a long time for you to see what not knowing what you were doing did to the program. And he saw it before anybody else did and bolted because he knew. And, the offense, it made up for a lot of it could cover up a lot of what was going on, right? It could cover up until you got to the playoff and got the shit kicked out of you. And if you notice, we talk about this all the time. They got worse every year. They may have continued winning Big 12 championships because the Big 12 was shitty. It got worse. Texas was trash. Okie Light is constantly a underachiever. They're underachievers.
Yeah.
I think we're getting some. We have you on 2 things because we're getting feedback there. No, I can't hear you at all. I ain't got you.
What about now? Can you hear me?
I got you now. Okay, cool. But I mean, when the best teams in your conference are Baylor, and nothing against Baylor, but they had everything go on with Art Briles and that crew, and then got good again with Matt Rule and won a couple of conference championships. And Texas didn't even win anything, Oklahoma State wins a bunch of football games, couldn't ever win the big one. So it looked like we were still at the top of the heap, but they really weren't. They weren't at the top of the heap. And so now Coach V's had to rebuild this thing. He said it when he got here. This is the first thing he said. We got to rip it back to the studs. We got to rip it back to the studs and rebuild it from the ground up and do it the right way. And, people, you just don't understand it sometimes,
Well, I think, starting with, I don't know a whole lot about the 23 class. You had some good guys in that 23 class, but I think if you just look at the production of the 24 class right now, it is unreal. From X to Michael Hawkins Jr. to Boganowski to Powers to Isaiah. To Eddie. I mean, it's just everywhere you see where a freshman has that potential to be, that guy. And I told my wife, a lot of people like, you just talking. 2026, the Natty. I don't care. Next year, I think we'll be good. I really think we'll be good. I don't know how close we'll be next year, but 2026, you can mark it right here. I said it on your show. We're gonna win the Natty. I think we're close. I thought what you saw Saturday was a part of the identity that's to come. I got a lot of you know, ear feelings about um the off season and people trying to poach our kids after watching this game, and we know that's going to happen because that's a part of college football. But I'm hoping I'm putting it like this. I'm going to say the word administration. I hope everybody in the administration part of us say, hey, look, we need to keep these guys together. We got a good thing right now. We need to add some pieces. We need, and there are places we need to add pieces, but man, I just hope everything just keep gelling the way it's gelling. Because if we go into LSU with the same mindset that we played Saturday, it's going to be a hell of a ball game down there in Death Valley.
Right.
Right. So I mean, I think if you had told me we was only going to pass for 60 some yards and win the ball game, I've been like, I don't know about that. But I did say, me and Mike said it. We talked about the Missouri game. If we had just kept running the football.
Yeah. Well, you have to, Brent Venables has talked about every week that we got to win the turnover battle, and we continue to not win the turnover battle, and we continue to lose.
About that.
Well, yeah. And they're not, Jackson Arnold goes 9 of 11, 68 yards, but carries the ball 25 times for 131. Yeah. X-Rob was
the kid was a running back before he was a quarterback. Remember that now.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, I've got my feelings about how that's going, and I think that this is going to work for one game or something like that. But you definitely shows that you need to be heavy run, right? It definitely
yeah. And I mean, LSU is going to watch this film, and they're gonna stop some of that because Alabama didn't see that coming, and that was a lot of it.
No, and
they didn't see it coming. I got to give Joe John. So what now?
Well, I was saying that's the thing is these coaches in this league, they're going to pick up on it. It's just like in the NFL. You don't get to do stuff. Those guys that come in flash in the pan, it happens sometimes because they don't have no film on you. So you go out there and kill it. And then, 2 or 3 weeks go by, then it's like, okay, now they've caught up to you on the defense. These defensive coaches will catch up to you quick. Now, they've got some good coaches at LSU. They're a little light on Jimmy's and Joe's especially in the trenches over there. And then we know that they've got some discipline issues with what's going on. They've got some pissed off at the coach issues. It's a good opportunity to go in there and get a win, but I think that you got to find a way still. And look, now you're down 6 receivers unless you get one of these guys back, which it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
I think you get Burst back.
Maybe. I don't know.
I hope so.
Good. I hope so too. I mean, we're talking 3 weeks since the concussion. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm hoping you get Burst back. But here's the thing. Check this out, bro. What was the score at half with Alabama? Was it 3-3 or what we up?
10-3. 10-3. You got the X-Rob.
Okay, so check this out, bro. We have led in the last 3 ball games going into the half.
Yep.
Thought about that?
Yep.
Have you thought about that?
I've thought about it, and we hadn't been able to hold it up until finally this last week. What's up there, Martin? Benji?
When they came out and and they held, I wanted to see the third quarter has been doomsday for us all year.
Yeah.
Even in the games we won, third quarter has been doomsday.
Well,
and when they came out and held Alabama without scoring coming out the half, that gave me another sense of, okay, this is real. Yeah. And I felt it a week ago. I felt it a week ago because I told you guys, I said, man, anything can happen. We run the football. And I said, if we, I remember on the show, I said, if we pull a Vandy and keep the ball away from them, we got a shot.
That's right. Well, and that's what, I mean, I go back to what Seawalt said up here. Let's see, who knew that abandoning the passing game would be the most effective way for OU to win? A lot of people knew it. Although I don't think that the problem is you hadn't seen them be able to run the ball consistently, except for in that Missouri game, because of the fact that you hadn't tried them downfield even. You're just not even trying it. But you did see enough of that early on where, look, they took some shots. They took the shot with the flea flicker play that Bauer should have caught. That's a touchdown. If he catches that one, it's even more so. You had a couple of other little miscues. In fact, until they got that touchdown, they had been in the red zone 5 times in the first half and still only had 3 points. So, I mean, as much as you like to, and look, and real quick, Xavier Robinson, 18 carries. We said last week they better give him 20 for giving up his red shirt. And them not making, you realize that the red shirt, he played 2 plays at the end of the Mizzou game and 2 plays at the end of I believe, the Auburn game.
Yeah.
And didn't get a carry. Just 2 plays at the end of 2 games that you're out of.
But I'm going to tell you from just hearing from the camp, that he is the most improved running back since day one of fall camp in the whole.
No doubt. How's it take
thing.
12 weeks? How's it take?
You got to give it to him, man. I mean, when they play, X is going to give it to him, man. Come on, bro.
X going to give it to you. Hey, it was awesome,
hey,
man.
bro, what's happening with that, man?
107 yards, 2 touchdowns. That touchdown before the half was huge because I think you needed to go into halftime with something on the board after how well you played, because as I'll say again, no matter what you want to say, this is what we've wanted to see, and you've almost needed it for more games than not because of the fact that the play calling and it was just, there wasn't a lot of competent play calling coming into this game, man. I mean, you saw some good play calling, then it was just uneven. A lot of uneven stuff. Same thing with Ole Miss. You were there. I mean, they looked good in the first half. The second half, they get behind the sticks. And you were just saying it. You needed this defense to go out there and do what they did. And not only you do that, but you get that touchdown. You've shut down Milroe. For the most part, you shut down, you have it. Would have been a touchdown. They had it called back. Ended up with a field goal because Ryan Williams stepped out of bounds there. And thankfully, I don't know why they didn't go for it there on that fourth and 5, something like that. They were saying you should go for it.
We have been stuffing them, though, bro. We have been stuffing them, man.
See, and that's the whole thing.
They did not want that to, if we stop them there, the coaches, they know the mentality of that team in that moment. And I feel like Alabama was like, you know what, we got to get some points because right now we need life. We need life. And they just didn't have it. And you got to think about this. Our defense will probably be top 5, top 10 if we had had this type of movement with the offense all year. They was able to rest. You think about this. After that interception, the last 6 minutes of the ball game, Alabama didn't get the ball back, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about the job that Joe John Finley?
Hey, listen, I'm not bashing
Kevin John and Coach Bimbo has done. I mean, you got guys, this is 3 to 4 weeks of these guys being together.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a whole summer. This is 4 weeks of those guys being together. And look at the product.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Look at the product in 4 weeks compared to a whole summer, a whole spring. Man, they've done a hell of a job.
Yeah, and we've heard a lot of crazy things about that. We don't have to go too crazy into that part. I'll just say this. Sooner Cowboys, Milroe played horrible, though. He missed some open throws. Milroe played horrible because Oklahoma made him play horrible.
That's right.
They hit him in his mouth, and he got rattled.
What Mike Tyson say? What Mike Tyson say about that?
And look, we've already seen it once this year. You go back to that Vanderbilt game. What did they do? What did they do? They went and did the same. Hey, Oklahoma, it's not, you don't have to be a genius to know what to do. You go back and find out what's beaten them already.
Mm-hmm.
And a heavy dose of the run game, a heavy dose of the quarterback run. Think about it. Diego Pavia, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. They ran it a little different, but it was the same thing. And look, I said it earlier in the week. I said it all week. Milroe has to get going with the legs. If he gets going with the legs, he will kill you with his arm, because then you have to add people to the box, and then he's going to hit you with the deep ball. This is not a quarterback that's going to hit that 15 to 25-yard pass that's those precision passes. That's not what he is.
Nah.
That's not what he is. He reminds you of really a Jalen Hurts. And Jalen probably even a little bit more, but I remember when he was at Oklahoma, Lincoln used to have to cover for him a lot. He would have to shut the game down into doing the things only that that Hurts was good at. Great athlete. But it's the same reason he got benched at Alabama, because he couldn't hit the precision throws that you had to hit in order to win some of these games. So you got to get a guy like that running the football. If they can get running the football, then you get a lot of deep balls that, man, and here's the other thing. We can talk about that damn penalty that wasn't or shouldn't have been or whatever you want to call it. And look, hey, man, Ryan Williams is that dude.
All the way live, bro. You know, he's that guy.
Eli's in his pocket. And somehow he not only makes the catch, but somehow gets his damn toe down.
Look at Coach Riggs, man.
Yeah. Foot to ass. Milroe was scared to death. You should see it. You could see it in his eyes. You could see it in his eyes. You absolutely could.
Yeah, man.
And look, and no shade against, and this isn't shade. This is just telling the truth what it was. Alabama fans are doing the same thing right now. They're doing their post-mortem. They've been doing it all weekend. Wanted to fire Kalen DeBoer. A lot of them.
Here's the thing, and I heard somebody talk about this. One of the analysts, I can't remember, who it was, but it was talking about, you're talking about firing Caleb. Dude, there was nobody right now. I think they made the best hire they could make, because there's not, even with the OC job that we're looking, there's not a lot of guys just out there.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not like you got 30 guys to pick from, bro.
Right.
No
doubt. Well, and
so
I think that, you get used to seeing them win and stuff like that. Nobody expected. Hell, I didn't expect them to do it, because honestly, until you see something good out of, hey, Seawalt's got a good one here. Football game and matchups. Oh, you knew what they had to do. Credit for that goes to the staff, and execution goes to the players. Very decisive. It was decisive. It was decisive once they got out of their own way. And once they did, though, that was good, because in the second half, whereas you still feel, we said it at halftime during the halftime show on Legends channel. It was like, hey, man, I don't know. We're gonna have to see, because to be honest with you, we hadn't seen them really come out after the half and do it. And even if this was out of reach, it ain't much out of reach, because you probably ain't gonna score a lot. We didn't expect to score a lot. Well, you come out there, you get an interception from Eli, you get another and then another X-Rob touchdown, and then you get the pick six, the Kip six.
The Kip six, baby.
Alabama state champions, baby. And he did both of them against Alabama teams, Auburn and Bama.
Yeah, we're the Iron Bowl champions this year, bro.
Yeah, Iron Bowl. We should be Iron Bowl champs, huh? I've got a T-shirt up. As a matter of fact, I will pop that up on the screen real quick for everybody to see.
Oh man, it's crazy.
I love it.
Yeah, so, man. it's one of those things. What I can't hardly see it. I'm on this phone, so
Hold on, I'll roll over it here real quick. So
okay.
Alabama State champs 2024. It's got the scores from the Auburn game and from the
Oh, I gotta
Alabama
get
game.
one, cuz.
Yeah, we got it here. So got it here right here on hofmedia.us/pod-merch. I will throw in the actual, I can actually throw in this this link into the description as well. And we'll get you guys set up. But all you got to do is hofmedia.us/pod-merch. At Hall of Fame College Football, we celebrate passion, pride, and traditions that make college football the heart of our shows. Our merch store is the go-to destination, whether you're repping your favorite Sooner moments or telling someone your favorite Coach Roy Ball ism. Look, if you're looking for the perfect gift, you guys got to get in there. We got a lot of horns down gear that's available only for a limited time, so you want to make sure you jump over there now. We'll jump. You've got the Coach Roy Ball. Doesn't give a S. You've got. I love this one. Actually, we've sold quite a few of these. Oklahoma versus the world. That was a great one as well. I love that one. I've got one of those, in fact, and then the one I love the most here, it's it always meant more at Oklahoma, so which it always has. It always has, So get over there, check that out. We even have, as I said, we got some deals going. If you have, I got to go back in there and change it or make sure that it's there. But if you spend over $75 in the store, you can get free shipping with it as well. So you've got hoodies. I mean, you guys saw I was wearing the hoodie the other day. I'm wearing the hat right now. But you got your horns down gear over here. We've even got some beanies, different color beanies and stuff. Sooner Magic, horns down, all kinds of stuff, guys. Get in there and check it. We even got the Hall of Fame logo with the OU in it. So get in there and check that out. And, always we tell you, you don't have to spend money. You just have to like and subscribe to the channel. That helps us out tremendously. But if you want to get some cool Sooner gear, you should definitely do so. All right. So paying off our fine. Yeah, probably not going to do that. I didn't storm the damn field, so I'm not going to pay off shit.
That $100,000, bro, that's worth it, man. That ain't, come on, cuz.
Oh, you can afford it. Afford it. I'm going to put it to you that way. So just so you know. So MWG, nice try. Not happening. But yeah, why would you even want me to pay for that bill? That's messed up. All right. MJ was gifted the membership by Bishop Frank. Well, thank you, Bishop Frank, for the gifting. Hey, you know what? I need to get over and make sure that I'm looking at the right thing here, because it doesn't always pop up there. I'm glad I saw that. That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we got about 100 people in here. Awesome stuff. Coach Ricks pops in with another question for you real quick. Let me get back over here to it.
Oh yeah, I see it.
He says,
as a parent, man, I'm happy for the team, man, because I know what they go through on a day in and day out basis, man, just from the hard practices and, the kids going to class and people looking at them crazy and, hitting them up on social media, with negative stuff, and they have to hold their tongue, man. And, and to get a win like this and see some of them same people that probably was calling you, all kind of names, storm the field. And that's college football, man, and as a parent, you have to, instill in your kid that, hey, look, this is just a part of it. But, as a parent, yeah, man, it was great to get the win, because the kids needed to kind of like, they needed the monkey off their back a little bit. And I think this win does it. And I think this win gives them a different mindset going into Death Valley. I mean, I feel like the team has a killer instinct right now. You know how how a shark, when it smells blood, hey, they ready to feed. And I think right now that's what we are. You know, don't know if we'll go 8-5. I don't know that, but it's on the table.
It is.
You know, it's definitely on the table. And look at this, guys. And I know this is not vintage Oklahoma football, but we have beaten two teams in the top 25. Tulane is what, 9-2, and then we beat Bama, and we coulda, shoulda, woulda. We had Mizzou, so
you had the lead at Ole Miss.
It had to lead at Ole Miss. So guys, we're not that far away. We just need patience. We're not that far away. And like I just said 5 minutes ago, this staff right now, I feel like with Coach Beambo, Coach Johns, and JJ, I think right now they're wrapping up what they could be. It's something special for those guys. Don't know what the future are for, two of them. I don't really know what the future is for Coach B, but I'm hoping the future is still at Oklahoma with Coach B. But I'm seeing some guys put egos aside and put everything else aside and just pour it out for the kids. So the win was big as a parent for us because the kids needed that. And I told Jason, man, a week ago, man, they haven't given up, bro.
Right.
They haven't given up. They hard headed, and they stubborn. They're gonna stick to their guns just like their head coach.
Are you in Dallas there, T Boomer? Let me know, because it's showing that the only one that I'm seeing in there, it's showing that I did have an issue with one of my cards got the giveaways. I was having an issue because one of my cards got stolen or whatever. Basically, they found it online or whatever. So I had to be able to I had to get a new card for it. So it's giving me a hard time on a couple of them, but it's showing that you have that it was delivered. Do you live in Dallas? Let me know. Okay. Yeah. What's up there? What's up, Unc? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. Chris's uncle, Tristan. Good to see you, man. Brian Gilcrease, T Boomer, Tristan. Let's see. Sooner Cowboys still in here doing it. Dez, what's up, Dez? Is everything good in Norman now? It's better. It's getting better. Are they keeping JA and JJF? I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to tell you no on both. No to both. But that's just my opinion. I don't really know for sure. I think that whoever this new offensive coordinator is, which it's not going to be Joe John. I think whoever the new offensive coordinator is will make the decision on that, on whether or not they're going to keep Joe John around or not. If I had a guess, I would say he'll probably be on Jeff Levy's staff next year. That's just my opinion. What's up there, Kim Hurst? Bishop Frank giving them out, man. Thank you, sir, for the gifting of the memberships. You can also get a membership to it gives you our discords to some of we got some should have probably a few more things. I'm gonna start doing some stuff where we do just like members only streams and stuff like that, where you can get in and talk to some of the guys that we have on here, stuff like that. Planning to do some stuff coming up. I mean, Marcus and I have been talking about a lot of different stuff like that as well, but I'm going to be doing some work with him probably on his channel this week as well. So be looking out for that. But yeah, jump in there. It's as low as $2.99 a month to get in there. It gets you into our Discord. It gets you into some of the members only streams, things like that we're going to be doing. You can check out my column early and that kind of stuff. So, hey guys, it is what it is. We're going to enjoy this win, and we should enjoy this win. SDR, another one gifted by Bishop Frank. Thank you, Bishop Frank. You are the man. T having a hell of a time. Or yeah, hey, listen, Goated, go back in there and try it again, because I think I did fix that issue. But let's see what T is saying. You're in Oklahoma, so that's not. Send me another email real quick, and that way I know for sure which one your email is, and I'll send it back to you again. I think I don't know what's going on. I wish I did, but It hadn't been having any issues with anybody that's been, because we've had orders all month. So it was something to do with my setup because of my card or whatever, because it was compromised. So that was the deal on that one. Everybody else has been able to get them. So that's why I was just looking through. I didn't find anything that didn't go through. Let's see. All right. Man, I don't know why I'm leaving that on the screen. Real quick. So obviously recapping everything that went on the other day. Listen, guys, a great game for Oklahoma. And what a game plan, talking about the way, if you're struggling with the pass, the best way to get, somebody going is to run the football, run it well. And I think you always look at Alabama, they've got the best talent roster in the country. They've had the best talent roster in the country, and I would just tell you that, but that defense, they're doing a lot of that 3-man front stuff, and that lets you know that you can probably run against it. And you saw that they were hitting the outside a little bit more than normal as well, right? I don't know. Sooner in Texas, quit BSing.
I'm gonna tell you this, Jason. Something that a lot of people didn't see, and me as a coach, I want to look at the whole field. I got to give props to JJ Hester. He blocked his ass off, bro. Downfield, I know that's something that's people not. Those receivers block. They got out there and they got a hand. They put a body on somebody. And for the game to not go through those guys, and we all know, and not in coach receivers, man, receivers are the divas of the bunch, always. But for them to get down and dirty and block downfield the way they did, man, I say Hester, man, just driving a guy. I mean, I'm like, what? I mean, so for them to buy into what went down Saturday, this week, being a receiver core, hey man, my hat's off to them.
No doubt. You have to do it, but
you have to do it, man. Everybody's bought in, and
you got to help your offensive line a little bit, right? Help your offensive line. Run blocking is always a better deal for any offensive line that's struggling, especially if you're struggling with pass blocking. You got to help them out a little bit, let them know they know what's coming a little bit more. And they were moving furniture, man. They were moving furniture. And loved the way EPL got in there, did his thing. The left side of that line was doing its thing too.
Yeah, man. Isaiah talked about that. He was like, man, he was excited. I think he gave Feb just a little bit of a break. He had a little bit of, doing the run blocking is something that we don't do a whole lot. So that was a different pace in the game. So I don't know if he just got winded or whatever, but coach got him in. I think he got anywhere from 12 to 15 snaps. And, he loved it. He did well, you know what I'm saying? So he talked about the atmosphere and how it was being out there against Bama, man. And all it does is just make the other guys hungry, man, to want to get there. And that as a team, that's just where we are right now. You got a bunch of young, hungry men that want to win, as a team. And that, like I said, that goes back to the blocking, man. As a team, they did that collectively as a team. And I just got to, Emmett Jones, man, once again, I take my hat off to you, bro. Because they put a hand on some people.
They love Emmett too, man. Those guys work their asses off for him. He works them hard. They work hard for him.
Right.
And you kind of do have to take your hat off to him anyway, because I think a lot of people even started questioning what's going on there. Look, 6 guys now are out. 6. They were the guys that your first 6 gone.
Man, what team in the country?
Right.
What team in the country could overcome what we? I know you say next man up, but that's
come on, man.
To a point, that's bullshit.
Come on, man.
Because man, that's hard. We're sitting here watching Ole Miss, and you sitting there looking at Trey Harris. All he's doing is twirling his hair, man, because man, he watching it go down the drain, bro.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
What if they lost all 5 of their receivers that's out there on the field right now? Jackson Dart, tell you what, you wouldn't be in no running for a Heisman or nothing else if that was the case.
Well, if he was in the running for it, he lost that on Saturday anyway.
Well, hey, what you think about Milrose, man? That had to hurt him tremendously, bro.
They weren't winning it. Either one of them weren't winning it anyway. I think right now it looks like, to me, it's probably the guy at Boise State. I don't know how I feel about that, but honestly, I feel like it's Travis Hunter.
Me too. I feel like Travis should. I mean, being a two-way player, man, that's hard to do.
150 plays a game, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's hard to do, bro.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Brennan too. You know, I feel bad for all these guys, man. Feel bad for all these guys, and this is the one thing. And you know, Coop said this the other night on the show. Is something that I want to reiterate is that this was such an anomaly. You're never going to see this again.
I pray not.
I mean,
I pray not, brother.
If you're that snake bitten, and I'll tell you something. If this does continue to happen, then you know there's something wrong with the medical staff, something in the department. Yeah. If they can't get these guys healthy, right? I think we know that something's going on there. There's been a lot of talk from a lot of places. We don't have to. It's not for me to know. I'm going to tell you, I don't know a ton about it.
And I don't know either. I mean,
I've heard a bunch of stuff.
I have a son on the team. Right. Yeah, I have a son on the team who missed 3 weeks. You know, with a broke foot, first beginning of the year. You know, first beginning of fall camp. You know, right before the first game, he was out for 3 weeks. Right. You know, and that hurt him a lot. You know, but man, I don't know. I don't have an answer to it, bro. You know, I do know this, and let me say this, and it's just my opinion. To win the Natty now, how many games you have to play? 16 in the season now?
If you're going to win it, unless if you get a bye, it'll be 15 still.
But 15 to 16 games, bro. I think every program has to look at it a little bit different. I think you have to rest guys. I think depth is so important now more than ever in college football because of the 16-game season.
No doubt. If you're going to win it all, you're going to have the most competitive depth. You're going to have the least amount of drop off from one guy to the next. Now that's easy to say. We talked about competitive depth, but I don't care who you are. And that tells you the fact that we can still roll receivers out there, period, even though they're freshmen and guys that we haven't depended on, walk-ons, Jacob Jordan. It tells you that receivers come to Oklahoma. But the truth is with the scheme, look, a lot of things have happened. A lot of things have happened this season, and injuries on the O-line. They're finally starting to get somewhat healthy. I mean, they've got a number of guys that you would expect to be starters not in, but these younger guys are starting to come into their own. When you start looking at what you saw from Logan Howland this week, and not just Logan, but also Hito Zaida as well. Then you got EPL coming in on the other side. You even saw Spencer Brown was moving furniture this week.
Oh, yeah. Spencer played exceptionally well, man. I got to give it to him, bro.
And look, and he hadn't played well all year. He hasn't. And so, and I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
No, I understand, man.
A lot for the year, and so for him to, that tells you a lot. The people you Bill Beadenbow haters, back up, because he's telling you what he can do. What's up there, Bishop? Frank, welcome to the show.
What's good? What's good?
Let me say this right here, man. When you talk about Coach B, you talk about Spencer Brown. What would Spencer Brown be if Coach Beadenbow had 3 years with that kid?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, he wasn't ready, but he wasn't up under the tutelage of Bill Beadenbow, bro.
Yeah.
So that makes a difference.
Sure does. But that's the spoiledness of OU fans, that we expect them to be ready to go as soon as they get here. You know, and that, you know, hell, Sooner Cowboys the other day, you were telling us it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter about I couldn't believe you said this. It's not about development. It's about what they are, but when they get them. No.
That's the biggest lie. I don't know where
you can't say that, Sooner Cowboys. And you know you said it the other day, so I'm giving you a hard time still about that because that was crazy talk. Crazy talk. And it goes to show you that if you look at what's been going on the entire last month of the season, these guys have gotten better and better on the offensive line each week. The end of the second half of Ole Miss, a lot of that you have to chalk up to when Jake Sexton went out. Yep. Because Howland he had that fatal flaw in what his technique was taking that step back. You know, Gabe talked about it on their show. And what did he do? He fixed it the very next week. He's continued to get better week after week. So it's something that you got to look at. It's about competition. That's true development. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Development happens when you get them to college. It doesn't matter. It's very
block that dude, bro.
It's very rare.
Man, he knows nothing about football. I can tell you that much.
Oh my God, dude! It's so you cannot throw these things out there and say things like that, man. Development is absolutely crucial, and it's not even. Can you get a head start on it? Getting the good development in high school? Absolutely. There's really good coaches out there in places, but it doesn't make you ready. It does not make you ready to be a superstar when you get there.
That got to be one of the most stupidest things I've ever heard as a coach. I've never heard nothing that stupid before.
You see, Sooner Cowboys?
I'm serious, man. Come on.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying here with these guys.
Nick Saban talks about development, man. I mean, some of the great talks about, you know, how you develop a player and how they develop through the system. For him to say something stupid like that.
There's so many guys that have come in here as 3 stars. Trent Williams was a 3-star. He's the greatest left tackle of all time.
Man, that's crazy to say that, man.
Greatest left tackle of all time. 3-star.
Man, I don't know. I don't know who this guy is or where he's from.
Everybody in the chat is now dumber for having heard that.
Everybody took a step back on that one, man. Golly, dude.
Yeah,
I know he got. Oh man.
Listen, we can move past this. What I was getting at.
Yes, Lord, please.
You know that here's what, and I was just trying to make one point. We don't have to keep on going with all this stuff, but you know I'm gonna call you out on it, Sooner Cowboys. You know I'm gonna call you out on dumb shit because I don't play dumb shit in here. If we're gonna talk about it, we have to talk serious about it. And the truth is, you had injury after injury after injury. They have recruited well, but you know what people forget about is that in 20 and 21, the COVID year and the year after that, they got a total of 5 offensive linemen. A couple of those guys don't work out. A couple of them transfer. You get them leave a little early. Then all of a sudden you're behind the 8 ball on those guys, and you have to go and supplement in the portal. We've talked about this a ton. In the portal, what happens in the portal?
Hey, check this guy out. Purple something right here.
This shit too.
Yeah, but check. He said transfers are other people guys. Okay, how are there other people guys at your university for maybe 3 years and maybe was only at that school for 2 years? So how you tell me? So if you go work a job and you say, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm gonna take a high-paying job or go somewhere else that I feel like I could be, successful. So you go there and you blow this company up so the company say, oh, that's our guy. No, man, get out of here with that mess. You talking about with sunshine pumping, man? Nobody is sunshine pumping.
So
I mean, we're stating facts.
Yeah, I want to. Let's go with this real quick. Hold on. So, Orca, do tell us what the real deal is then, since you know so much.
Man, nobody's sunshine pumping, bro. It's called development. We've watched this team develop from Ole Miss to right now. I don't know what the outcast is going to be. Outcome is going to be against LSU. But guess what? I do know I'm seeing growth, and growth is called what? Development.
So what you're calling a sunshine pump, and what are you saying? I'm not hating if a guy is only 1 year at a school, that don't show development skill. Development if developing guys after years of hard work. What does that even mean?
That's stupid again. That's another stupid. If a kid been at your school for 12 months, dude, he came last summer.
Oh man, come on. Hey, man. That's okay. So we got to keep guys to develop. We are depending on mercenaries. No, we're not. You see, again, I'm going to explain this to you again. They only got 5 guys, and part of that was on Lincoln Riley, that they only were able to. You know what? He was struggling with the recruiting. Why is he struggling with recruiting at California right now? Because he doesn't.
Dude, and Jason, we're talking about one kid. One kid. Mm-hmm. You're talking about one kid that came in that has 1 year left. Tarquin wasn't on the field last night.
Not even that. Not even okay. Well, he was a lot better this year than he was at SC last year.
Right.
He was better. And you want to talk about developing these guys that come in. What do you have to say about the last 2 first rounders in the last 2 years, first rounders going into the draft? One of those guys was a bench warming defensive tackle, Tyler Guyton. At TCU, he didn't even play. Big Bill goes and gets him. What does he do? Nobody's building. And you know what, you two? I am the least guy that sunshine pumps whenever it comes to talking real about this shit since they started going. I don't do it. I tell it like it is. I didn't not one time last week say that Oklahoma was going to win. So don't sit here and tell me that I'm freaking being a sunshine pumper.
Dude, say you're building your team off guys that come from Florida. Dude, are you really, man, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. I mean, how many transfers we got from Florida that making a difference in this football team? Dude, that's something stupid to say. We have less transfers than most teams.
We do. In fact, they don't hardly go to the portal. They've had to go to the portal. I told you just why. Think about it. 20 and 21 guys that you should have had they left. A lot of that stuff was because Lincoln Riley gutted the fucking program on his way out.
And then dude said, Bill, hold up. I gotta take Devin said Bills deserve some criticism for the O-line this year. Man, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
You guys got to go. He deserves praise for what he's done.
Here's the thing, man.
Out of chicken shit. That's what he deserves.
Look at the development of those kids from here to now. And you got to realize we don't know, and I don't know, even my son plays there. I don't know how much self-control controlled what the offensive line were doing in the blocking scheme. I'll
tell you how much, all of it.
Yes. So you want to put stuff on somebody who had no control of it. That's something different. And I'm not, the relationship Coach Bill has with those kids is love, man. He rips their ass from one end to the other, but he come back and he shows them what they did wrong, and he cares about them. Although he rips their ass, it's tough love, and that's the reason why my son is there. Is because of the way he coaches and his toughness and his will to not let your ass give up. And guess what? Those kids didn't give up. From being talked about online by every damn body, saying they're the worst offensive line that you ever seen, to putting 250 yards on the ground against Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
That's development.
Mm-hmm.
That's development.
If you can't see that they're developing guys in this program, especially since Venables got here and with Big Bill the last few years, part of which, that's the other thing. You guys forget that they have the yoga instructor here with Lincoln. And so and Benji will tell you that because the same son of a bitch was in Texas before that, and they didn't love him there because everybody was getting smaller instead of bigger. They got smaller at USC the last 3 years since he's been out there too. They bitch about it all the time.
Hey, look at this guy right here. I put a lot of the O-line on self-made different blocking schemes every week for the first 6 games. Yeah, some of that's true.
But and you're right, Goated. It is that. It is a lot of it was on Seth, and because we know for a fact that there were some issues with not just the offensive line. He was dictating everybody that was playing. So yeah, exactly. Won't ever miss him leaving. And that's the thing. They've had to rebuild that thing. Again, I said this at the start of the show. Bishop Frank, you'll back me up on this. You know, you've been seeing it. From day one that Lincoln took over, then he fires Schmitty the next year. They were good. They should have won the Natty that year. Had Bob stayed coaching, they win the Natty that year because they were that good. But he wasn't able. He gagged it away against Georgia in a game that you should have blown them the hell out in. But then after that, they got smaller and worse year after year after year. Quarterback play covered up a lot of stuff. Am I wrong?
Facts.
It's all facts. You know what happened. Tell it. Speak it.
Hey, you know what? Y'all guys in the chat, the bottom line is you look at the formula that we had to deal with this year, and it was a major fire test. And yet this Saturday, we had a team that was bought all the way in. Didn't care what the record was. They were playing for each other, and they stuck together through the fire. So give respect where the respect is due.
Yeah, QB and yes, the QB play carried OU during that time. But you remember that year, the year that Stoops left, they won the Joe Moore Award, right? That's when they had Creed and those guys. Dude, that was a nasty, nasty offensive line. But it didn't get better. And we can sit here and blame it on Big Bill if you want to. But all I got to do is show you the guys that are in the freaking NFL at $300 million worth of freaking salary that he's got. You know?
That's crazy.
But in the end, it took longer for Lincoln to screw all that up. It took longer for Lincoln to screw all that up. It hasn't taken him as long out there. He didn't have a ready-made staff at SC like he had at Oklahoma. Turnkey, everything. They gave him the turnkey. They gave him the keys to the Lambo, and he proceeded to crash that son of a bitch into a pole. And it's one thing. It's one thing if you sit there and look at it. You know, you sit there and look at Caleb Williams. Okay, great. He's always does great with quarterbacks. He schemes. I've told you guys this a million times. He can scheme dudes open. He can make sure, but it didn't always work. Why did it not always work in the playoff? They get the shit kicked out of them. Why? Because they didn't run the football. And that's why they've lost games this year. They don't run the football.
When you run the football, you control the line of scrimmage, man. Those Elite Eight, those controlling the line of scrimmage is the key to winning, period. And when you can't do that, you can't win. Your quarterback is not comfortable. And, that's something that I'm seeing right now that Jackson Arnold finally said, you know what, to me, him running the football gave him confidence. Like, I'm in control of this football game. And I like that. I know we need to throw the ball down the field a little bit more to win. And I think we have
explosive plays. You got to have explosive plays. You got to be able to
I think we need at least 150 yards passing this coming up week to win this ball game, because LSU is going to scheme against the things that they saw Saturday. But let's say this: look at what we did in the first half against Ole Miss. We were balanced a little bit. If we mix that balance with what we had last night, then I think that's a recipe for success. And I might be totally wrong, but I do know we're gonna have to throw the football a little bit more because they're gonna stack the box against us.
Yeah,
they're gonna stack the box and say, "Hey,
Benji, you shouldn't say a damn thing about playing freaking cupcakes at all, because Bama's played a hell of a lot better schedule than you have." Shut it, Texas guy.
Oh yeah, I mean you
gotta
look at this. Georgia beat Texas, right?
They did.
Okay.
The one real good team.
The Alabama beat Georgia, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And LSU. And
that's right.
And Mizzou.
So what I'm saying is this, guys. So what I'm saying is this right here. You know, let's look at where we're going. We can even go back to the Missouri game, guys, and see flashes of this. We didn't protect the football, guys. If we had protected the football and ran about 30% more than what we did, we probably would have won that football game. That's hindsight. I mean, that's in the past. But if you just look at what we did yesterday, did Saturday, you know, you kind of see a trend of, okay, we got some good things going. And I'm gonna say this: Joe John and what's Kevin Johns, dude. If they're not here, which is, you know, I understand the dynamics of everything's going on, they're gonna land somewhere. They're gonna land somewhere, bro. You know, I don't know where it would be. I'm not saying it'd be at a Power 4, but you know, JoJo, he's young. And you can see that cat 5 years from now, when he really get it together, you can see him again. And guess what, guys? Don't think you might see him at Oklahoma in 5 years. You don't know that. Because whatever OC that we get and we win, he won't be here past 3 years, guys. I don't think. I might be wrong. Because that's just the going trend. OCs turns into head coaches when they're successful. You know? So, like I say, man, I think we have a recipe over the last 3 games. If we just keep adding to that recipe, I think we'll find the meal that we're looking for.
Yeah. NG, that's enough for you. Bye-bye. He's been getting more and more all the time. More and more all the time.
All I know is this is a great gumbo this morning.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you this, and you know, I said that something that you were talking about earlier, and actually Bishop Frank and I were talking about this last night. First off, Texas, I know you're still watching. Texas has the easiest damn schedule in the freaking SEC, and they set it up for them real nice, doing what they always do, pulling that bullshit. They're going to get beat this weekend. Even though A&M lost last weekend, and they probably should not. I bet you anything they beat Texas this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Texas hasn't looked great. They didn't look great again this last week. They pulled away. But Kentucky don't have an offense either. So good luck with all that.
They don't.
Good luck with all that. But we'll see what happens this weekend. And I hope A&M whips their ass. They're going to be in the playoff because they got an easy move. They got an easy road to get through it all. Where Oklahoma had to play Ole Miss, they're playing Mississippi State. Where Oklahoma had to play, you know, Alabama, they're playing Kentucky. Tennessee, Vandy.
Hey, if you don't mind, let me go there right quick. Can Vandy upset Tennessee this weekend?
Yeah, they could. They can beat anybody. They almost beat Texas. Crazy. They almost beat Texas. Do you know
how insane that would be? Do you know how insane that would be?
You're starting to wonder, though, how good is this going to be for the SEC if you have all these 3-loss teams, man?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's a question I have. How good is it going to be for the SEC if you got a bunch of 3-loss teams?
We're beating each other up, bro. We're beating each other up. The only thing that's
why, and this is why Sankey is wanting to, and everybody just outside of the SEC, they're all like, that's bullshit. They're going to put a bunch of 3-loss teams. They don't belong in there if you've got 3 losses. And I'm telling you, if they don't do it, the Big Ten and the SEC are going to go do their own thing. It's not good for college football. It's not good for college football. But if you're going to sit here and tell us that it's better, then why would the SEC go to a 9-game schedule when they're already beating each other up? As it is.
Dude, I think they should have did an East and West. I'm sorry. I might be wrong. but you wouldn't have the beat up like you have right now if they had went to an East and West, bro.
Yeah.
And then change it up a little bit in 3 years or whatever. Man, it's brutal. It's murder's row right now in the SEC.
Actually, question regarding Texas: what if they win but then lose to Georgia a second time? They're not going to leave them out.
No,
of the playoff. They're not going to leave them out of the playoff. If you leave the playoff, if you leave out an SEC championship team, a team that goes into the, I'll tell you this, I don't think that they belong in the playoff because I don't think they're that damn good. Because especially if they lose to Texas A&M, they lose to Texas A&M, they may not get in. But no, they're in. They're in now, guys. They have one loss going into the last week of the year.
Yeah,
they're
in, man.
They're in. And I tell you what, even if they lose to A&M, they're in. Now, A&M can get in with them, but Texas is in. And here's the thing. For the sake of the SEC and for the sake of college football, by the way, we need to hope that you better get 4. You better get 4. And they really want 5, but you better get 4.
Man, it's going to be interesting, bro.
If they only put 3 in there, the SEC and the Big Ten are going to lose their shit. So I don't think Indiana belongs. They hadn't played nobody all year, and they got boat raced. But the narrative out there is, oh, well, they get 1 loss, and now you're going to kick them out of it? Well, the best team they played before that was Nebraska.
Hey, check this out, bro. Florida State was undefeated.
I know.
So I want to hear that 1-loss stuff, man. They took a Florida State team that was undefeated.
Well, but they're a bit now. The other part of it would be they're a Big Ten team, so they're going to put them in.
Yeah,
put them in. They're getting 4 because Ohio State, even if they were to lose to Michigan, which should not happen. Don't care if it's in the big house or not. They got to win this game. Because and look, just to be honest, they looked really good last week. It could have been the fact that they played Indiana. Indiana didn't play anybody. I'm not giving them love.
So who you taking? You taking
I think the best team in the country right now there's a couple of them, but I think the best team is Oregon. But I don't know. I don't really know how great they are.
Let me ask you this right here.
They beat Ohio State, though. They did beat Ohio State, although it was by 1 point and it was at home.
But dude,
go ahead.
Give them Oklahoma schedule, bro.
Oh, I know. No, but here's the thing. Dylan's playing really good.
Yeah.
Dylan's playing really good. Their offense is good. Their defense is better. Mateo Uyunglele, bro. He's a game wrecker.
Yeah.
He's a game wrecker.
He's playing ball.
Bro, he had an interception. He's getting sacks every damn game. I mean, the dude he looks like he gets better week to week to week. The guy's a game wrecker, and he's a true sophomore. Killing it. And so Dan Lanning's doing his job building that defense over there. But are they ready? Are they ready to win the whole thing? I think they're the best team right now. Do I think that they're guaranteed to win it? No. I'll tell you the other team that people are talking shit because of the NIU loss. Notre Dame can win the whole thing. They can win the whole thing. They run the shit out of the football. They play great defense. And Riley Leonard is now playing very well. He hadn't gotten used to Denbrock's system whenever they lost that game. They had beaten A&M. You know they overlooked them. It was the week after that. I'm just saying.
Well, let me ask you this, man. You know, you talk about Notre Dame.
But then it's still Georgia. I think Alabama's still good enough to do some things. I think that, Texas should be. I think Texas is a better team than, I've given them credit for a lot of the time. But the thing is they're not battle tested. And we know Quinn Ewers now with the bum ankle.
Yeah. I was going to ask about that, a little later on in the show about that ankle. I know it's not the best, man, but you talked about Notre Dame earlier, and I always thought Notre Dame would have to get in a conference to be able to get in this playoff thing. But man, this
No.
thing might work out to their favor, man.
It's better for them. That 5 spot has been reserved for their asses.
Yes, sir, bro. I'm telling you, I think now the way this thing is, dude, I wouldn't. I would stay right where I'm at.
They're not. And coach will tell you, coach is a Notre Dame guy. They're not getting into a conference. Hell, they wanted to go to the Big Ten 50, 60 years ago, and the anti-Catholicism thing kept them out. Now they don't need your ass. They got a $20 billion endowment. They don't need you. They don't need anybody. And guess what? NBC pays them $65 million a year. No conference, just them. Plus they're getting 1% of the playoff, which is 10 more million. That's 75. That puts them right up there with the Big Ten and the SEC. Why the fuck would they get into a conference? They're not.
Dude, I'm telling you.
They have no reason to, because you know what? They play everybody they want to play right now. They play SC every year. SC, they're not that good this year. They're going to beat the shit out of USC this week. Watch them. They will beat the brakes off of them. Because they're just now? Notre Dame and SC this week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sure.
But I mean, like, you see what they did last year. What I like about Marcus Freeman is this dude, he's building a team kind of similar to the way you're seeing with Oklahoma, where they're just, dude, they play hard-nosed, bust you in the mouth football. Physicality at the max. That's what they're doing. Their struggle has been offensively. They hadn't been able to put the ball in the end zone. You get Denbrock back, it's been a lot better this year, man. I'm telling you, I know everybody thinks, Notre Dame's contract with Under Armour another $100 million too. You think they're not? Yeah. Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Oregon has 3 to 5 losses against our schedule too. I don't know. You can think, they've played as many good teams as Texas has, for sure. They played Texas A&M. Louisville, you know what? Jeff Braun puts it together every year. They went and beat Clemson this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat the shit out of Clemson, actually, at Clemson.
Does Clemson have a chance to win the ACC?
Kind of toss up, huh?
Does Clemson have a chance to win the ACC?
Yeah, they're gonna. The Clemson folks think that they think that if the Clemson and the South Carolina people, I even saw somebody on Twitter saying that game ought to be on the game day show instead of A&M and Texas, which is silly talk, but because it ain't like that. And look, Clemson may or may not win the game. I think that they probably should win it, and they're saying if they win it, that's going to get them in the playoff. I don't agree with that.
They would have to win the conference, I believe.
They better win South. They better be. They have to beat South Carolina.
Correct.
But then they have to win the conference too. I don't think that you're going to get away, because I'm going to tell you right now, they want to see Miami. If Miami wins the conference championship, they're going in.
Hey, let's do this.
If they don't, if they get into that conference championship game with 1 loss and they were to lose to Clemson, they'll put Miami in. But I don't know that they'll do the same for Clemson.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this, and I know it's something kind of crazy to bring up, but man, you take that South Carolina game. How many scores did offense give? How many scores did we give up? 21 really? 2 pick six, and then we had fumbled, and they scored off of that. Yeah. If you look at our defense, bro, from that South Carolina game up until now, it's been building, bro. It's been building. I was just going back looking at different stuff the other day when I was doing some of my high school stuff, and it just came to my attention. Like, man, they really held, because the hype is on Beamer and what he's doing right now, and whether you love, hate him, or whatever situation is, they on fire right now. But
that defensive line is on fire, but Beamer is still Beamer, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. But no, I'm talking about us. I'm just talking about our defense. What our defense really did against them, bro. We didn't. We gave up 14 points. maybe. Was it 14
right?
points?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So I'm just going back looking at, man, the body of work that we have been putting in for weeks and weeks. That's what I'm saying. I'm not studying Beamer, but what I'm saying is the body of work that defense is putting in, bro. And yeah, you say the Missouri game they did this, but got slipped. That happens. I hate it. If he doesn't slip, it might be a different thing right now. But I just want to go back to all the naysayers. It's not sunshine pumping. We're looking at it with real glasses. We're looking at this in real time.
The fact that they were able to flip it around and beat Alabama, and you can say that Alabama is not as good or blah, 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 blah. You can say what you want. They've got the best talent roster in the country.
Oh, yeah.
And they had 2 losses coming
the hottest team.
They were a hot team. They just beat the shit out of LSU in Baton Rouge at nighttime. They beat the shit out of Missouri before that. I mean, you can say what you want. You guys can hate on Alabama all you want to. If that's what we're gonna do, then I mean, come on, man. You're not any worse than the clowns that think that Oklahoma is just the worst team is gonna go and beat the Nebraska of the SEC. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Come on, man.
Yeah, man, that's Dupree calling me. I'm on my phone, so I can't swap over. There ain't no telling what that joker want this morning.
Hit him up. Hit him back real quick, and you can come back in.
I don't know if I could. Let me see. Gonna get in, man. He wants something totally different. We got a little project going on, but
I'll drop you out real quick.
Man. He just
pop back in whenever you get done.
All right, let me. I'm gonna hit you right back, bro.
Sounds good.
I bet.
All right. I'll get him back in here in just a second. All right. Are we going to get our OU versus USC game? We might. I don't know, man. I'll tell you this. I'd love to see this happen. How many of you people think that Lincoln would agree to such a thing? How many think they would? Because we know better. Let a naysayer know. Yeah. I view Ben with the same respect I've always had for Nebraska. And look, I mean, yeah, but that Nebraska, the SEC stuff, Nebraska hurt itself by going to the Big Ten because they didn't have the pipeline. They don't have a pipeline in the Big Ten. They don't. By playing in the Big 12, they're playing 2 or 3 games in Texas every year. Texas kids will go to Nebraska and play. Oklahoma hasn't lost a damn thing. They're not losing their pipeline. They're recruiting at the top of the country, in the top of the country. They have for 3 years. That 24K class is gold. And there's a lot of guys that are underrated in the class. Think about this for a second. One more time. I'm going to do this one more time for everybody. What Oklahoma has is underrated. Jaden Jackson has started from day one. He kicked the shit out of the interior of that defensive line the other day. Dominic Williams, same thing. They got him in the portal. David Stone's been killing it every week. He looked really good this week too. I mean, we just keep on and on and on with this stuff, and you got to think about it. Michael Boganowski, 3-star. Isaiah Autry-Dent, 3-star. 6'7", 320, 3-star. MVP at the Alabama Mississippi All-Star game. They put, I forget what the number is. We'll ask him when he gets back in here. Every year of that game, they put double figures worth of guys. Somewhere 10 to 12 guys from every game goes to the NFL from that All-Star game. He didn't lose a damn rep the whole week. Yep, they lost their. Yes, they did. Yeah, Lincoln's not playing. Danny's a finalist for the bucket. Stephen G, welcome into the show, sir. That's badass. He should be. He ought to win it going away. He's the best linebacker in the country. Period. Best linebacker in the country. Mm-hmm. All that just to lose to LSU next week, huh? Hey, well, if they do lose to LSU, is this guy must be another one of you Texas clowns? Talk some more shit. Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't only started. He's played virtually mistake-free. Yeah, dude, he's a dog. Samaje 3-star. Look, I'm talking about this program, right? This team right now. These guys that are going to be who knew a ton about Hito Zeta? What was he, a 3 or 4-star? Howland, 3 or 4-star. They weren't high up on the list. Hell, they had Foji. Foji coming into this class was number 480 something when he first committed to Oklahoma. Same size as Michael Fasusi. I don't know who you are. Can A&M challenge that Texas? Yeah. Yeah. They have a better defensive line than if you listen to what Shotty's been saying all year, that's their biggest issue is the D-line at Georgia. You know, it's going to be a good matchup. It's going to be a good matchup. But I'll tell you this, if Quinn is out, that's a big game for Arch to have to come in and play. I don't know about all that. You're an LSU fan. Okay. Well, I understand. I'm not a Beamer fan either. I don't think he's very good. I think he recruits okay. I don't think he's a very good coach. Ramondre Stevenson, yeah, he pretty explosive like that, man. I like it. Look, yeah, let's talk a little bit about X, man. And I'll say this. I don't want to continue saying a lot of this shit, but man, how in the fuck did it take till week 12 before you figured that shit out? It's just silly talk. Means jack shit. They don't mean nothing. Yep. Damn sure can. They develop quickly. No matter what Sooner Cowboys wants to tell you or who these other guys want to say. I don't give a shit. They develop and they develop fast. And guess what? That's what it takes. And you can bitch and complain about having to get guys in the portal all you want to. But in the end, what's up, Mary J? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, respect back. Yeah, we same thing in here. Same thing in here for the fair weathers. I've already kicked a couple out today, so it is what it is. What's up there, High Top? What'd you say? Need me to hop in? Yeah, you can. I didn't know you were off today. You're welcome to come in anytime. You want me to send it to your phone or to Twitter? I'll send it to Twitter real quick. You can get it to either one. Thank you for coming in, Mary J. Let's see. Florida Cody coming in. Oh, the professor. Hop in. You're ready. It's in there. X was the best player on the field Saturday on both sides of the ball. He was damn sure one of them. He was killing it, man. The guy runs with the purpose, don't he? He runs with a damn purpose. He doesn't necessarily look the same as AD, minus some power and speed, but he runs so physically, he reminds me a little. I think he's more, somebody said Ramondre. I think Samaje P. Ryan a little bit. Another 3-star, by the way. And, you know, I saw Jay saying it on his show last night that a lot of people, whenever we were talking about that, and I can remember this when we were talking about him committing to Oklahoma and getting the offers, 3-star you, 3-star you, 3-star you. Yeah, that dude's a dog. He sure did. Mic check. Is it not working? No. Yeah, man, he was all. Kennedy Brooks is another good one. I like Kennedy Brooks a lot, dude. Dang. Kennedy was a dog. It was a great game. It's a great game, too. And that just look, I mean, I would say, and, you know, Mary J, thank you for coming in and everything. But I'll say this, you know, I wasn't expecting them to go in there or to get that win. Wasn't. Because the truth be told, Alabama's got a lot of talent, and we've seen Milroe play really well at times this year. We've seen him not play well, but I said it on you guys' show that you have to make him beat you. The green screen. Oh, you got to set it up in this deal. It's all right. In the green screen. Nah, you're good. It's all good. I don't even know how to do it, so I wouldn't tell you anything about it. But welcome into the show from High Top Sports, the professor. He's got the Dan Mullen look going on today.
So everybody says.
Yeah. The old
I rock the visor a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right on. How about them Gators, man?
Man, I tell you, it's been a roller coaster of a ride.
Yeah. Here too.
I kind of feel like both teams are going through the same thing.
It's been tough.
At one point, you want to fire the end. At the next point, you're kind of jumping for joy. But yeah, I think there's some improvements. I think with both teams, you know, as I look at OU, I think that the defense has always kept momentum. It's hard. You look at some of these scores and you're like, oh well, they gave up 21 or 35 or what have you. But when you're playing 48 minutes on the field because the offense can't get it going.
Yeah, poor offense, turning it over, giving up. It's not even so much because if you look at the time of possession, it actually Oklahoma is right up there and a lot of times ahead in time of possession. It's the extra possessions. You're giving them a lot of possession.
Well,
you know, and it doesn't.
Red zone picks are bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know you guys have had a couple fumbles.
No way they should have lost to Missouri. No way they should have lost to Missouri. You know, you're leading. You got a 7-point lead with 2 minutes to left, and you lose in regulation. You know, but I'll say this: since Seth's gone, and this is what you know, Marcus was just talking about in here was that look, if you think about it, and he's not wrong. He was saying this group that's been working with this offense. And this ain't going to keep them here. I think that there's too much culpability for what happened. I mean, you know, nobody's giving that to him. And BV probably can't afford to take that gamble of keeping them on. But they, in 4 weeks' time, 5 weeks' time, really, they have changed things around as to what they looked like before, and they've gotten a little better all the time. The offensive line in particular, but you're still down now your top 6 receivers. So it's hard to get anything going that way, too, when you don't have your big playmakers. Xavier Robinson just had a huge, and I know you're the recruiting guy. You watched his film. What did you think of X-Rob coming in? Loved him. 3-star.
Loved him. Yeah. Hey, you know, it's funny because everybody wants to say like 3-star this, 3-star that. Listen, Jaden Ball for the University of Florida was a 3-star running back. That everybody was recruiting him as a linebacker. And you know, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, the kid's good. Just like a lot of them. Jaden Jackson. I told you that he was going to be more instrumental his freshman year than Stoney. Everybody was hyped on Stoney.
Unbelievable. Started every game. Been
unbelievable.
Yep.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. to watch some of these kids as I watched them in high school as they develop at the top tier echelon SEC programs. On a good defense. OU's probably one of the best defenses in the nation, I would say. It's just the Achilles heel of the offense, right? And
Sure.
it's kind of frustrating when you have something so good.
But what I'll say is this weekend, what did you do? You actually came in with a good game plan. You knew that, first off, you know that Jalen Milroe, he can throw it, but he's not that super accurate guy from that 15 to 25 range that where you have to be on the money, right?
Yeah.
Easy to get balls picked off. So what he does is beat you with his legs first, and then it opens up the passing game for them to hit you deep for those chunk plays, especially when you've got a guy like Ryan Williams, who is unfreaking believable, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, and we can talk about
17.
we can talk about that stupid play, that that dumb penalty, but the truth is that was a Hail Mary toss by Milroe. And Ryan was able to make the play. In the end, when they got to Milroe early, the second play of the game, Danny Stutzman knocks the hell out of him, stops him dead in his tracks on trying to run. And you could tell as the game wore on, he didn't want to run the ball no more.
No.
He didn't want to run the ball. And right before the half, I noticed it because he got that first down, but those guys were coming at him and he hit the ground. He was done. He didn't want to run no more.
Yeah, I think the game plan was very interesting.
Offensively, they did something that was actually, you played complementary football.
You ran the veer. That's what you ran.
The veer. Yeah, the veer and veer.
Veer and veer. It wasn't even the veer and shoot. I said the veer and shoot, and you're like, there wasn't much shooting going on. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I think he only had 10 pass attempts all game. Hey, but if that gets
11,
you the W,
11. He was 9 of 11.
It gets you the W. It's the W. It doesn't matter what it looks like.
Absolutely.
And it was efficient. It took up a lot of time. They sustained drives, and Alabama didn't have an absolute clue on how to stop that. And what I would say is as a guy looking from the outside perspective, at least you stuck with it, right? Because a lot of times in the past, OU will have something going, and then they get away from it.
About it in the Missouri game, they keep running the ball, and they didn't do it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you have 70 touches for your running backs.
Well, you had 50 runs. You had 50 rushes this week. Jackson Arnold had 25 for 131.
Yeah, and the running back probably had 22.
He had 18. He had 18 for 107 and 2 touchdowns. And then you also, I think that. Well, let me see the team. Yeah, 257. Third down, they converted 7 of 15 third downs. They were 1-on-1 on fourth. That was huge. Total plays, 62 plays. Over, they had 11 of them that weren't. They had 11 pass plays.
Yeah,
actually 12 pass plays because Brendan Thompson missed. He didn't miss them. Bauer Sharp dropped a touchdown.
Yeah,
it was on that. I
remember that
lateral play. So so over 50. They had 51 rushes in the game.
In a win in the SEC, which is hard to do.
Listen, and but that got their time of possession. They had more than almost 10 minutes more than Alabama did.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if that's the game you got to play to win, that's the game you got to play. I know everybody.
I don't know that you can continue doing this. This is 1 week thing, and sometimes it doesn't work out the same way. But what you didn't do was turn it against LSU. Over.
Huh? You can damn do it against LSU.
Right. They're not as good on the defensive line as Bama is.
No, they can't stop a nosebleed.
Right.
I think you run the same
out of the freaking.
I think you run them the same way. I do, man. After watching Florida do it to them with ball, I think you just do the same exact
ran
thing.
right over them, right? Ran right over.
It doesn't matter. You can call peanut butter and jelly. If you execute the play on the offensive line, you're not stopping it.
Yep. Oh, we've still been fighting that fight. You just missed out. Marcus Dent just told told Orca and Sooner Cowboys how stupid they were. They're rhyming. It was funny.
So what's the temperature of the room at with Oklahoma fans? I know.
Well, I mean, there's still people in here bitching, because we hadn't been doing that all year. Well, you know what? You've had a constantly shifting offensive line. You've had your top now 6 receivers gone.
Yeah.
Top 5 have been gone, And yeah, they had a bad offensive coordinator. It's just what it is. But I would just say that their way that they're recruiting, and this, you're the recruiting guy. The way that they're recruiting, it's just getting better. Then the guys that they recruited on the offensive line, think about it. Isaiah Autry-Dent, 3-star. He's 6'7", 320. He had offers to go to Oregon, to Alabama.
Listen,
he was about to get the offer to Georgia. He didn't even take the trip over there because he already had committed to Oklahoma. He had offers to everywhere. Ole Miss, and he's gotten in EPL. Eddie Pierre-Louis. That dude's a dog. You remember him, the kid from Tampa Catholic.
Yep.
Stud. He played really well this weekend.
His brother,
Heath Ozida, and their redshirt freshman, and Logan Howland, they're locking down the left side right now because you've got injuries.
They look great. His brother is an NFL offensive line.
He is. EPL's brother.
Yep. I think
he's the lineman that ran a 4.7.
Yeah. I think that I think what people need to understand is I think there's 2 ways to build a program. You can go the FSU route. And we saw how that went. They were 12-1 last year, 11-1 last year. And now they're going to lose this weekend to Florida.
To supplement, man. You have to supplement. You can't just be heavy, right?
Yeah, and we've seen it. We've seen it with TCU. Tried that. FSU has done that, but it doesn't. It's not long term.
Same with Ole Miss. Ole Miss just lost their game. They got knocked out of the. Well, I mean, you guys got them this week. Knocked them right out. Same.
Yep. And so,
bro, how the hell do you? I just want to ask you real quick. How the hell do they not go to their backup stud freaking quarterback whenever? I mean, Jackson's just throwing it to y'all, getting away with it, and
I think that with that defense on that day, I don't think anybody could have beat them. Truthfully, they were just so locked in. I watched the whole
game. They look great.
I don't know of any quarterback right now in college football that would have beat that Florida Gator defense on that day, on that field at that time. Now, throughout the year, there's been plenty of quarterbacks to do it, but I don't. Sometimes you just got the juice.
Yeah, but he's a true freshman, and if you look at it, there were times early in the year when he played that he didn't look like this.
No,
making mistakes. I mean, he's the talent's there. You can see that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I mean, dude, whenever he went down, and they looked like that they were getting ready to give Georgia all they wanted.
Yeah,
when he went down in the game,
one slip of a field. I think we beat Georgia by 35. I think we would have absolutely trounced them. But it's a what if. It's a what if. You don't know. I mean,
sure, you don't know. But he's the thing with injuries. Stud, man. Stud.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Stud. Now it's funny because the thing I had with him this weekend is he reads everything high to low. He's going for the big shot. And Ole Miss knew that, and they double coveraged the big shot all game long. So I wish that he would have started reading low from high and started really on them short crossers, just tearing them up because they were open. The jet sweep was open multiple times.
Yeah.
And that's adjustments, but he's still, I mean, he does have true freshman moments, taking sacks in the red zone. You can't do that. You got to get the ball away. But he's also not 100% back on that hammy, and he is having to throw the ball. He didn't run for any yards whatsoever, so it's a little bit hard when you're one dimensional. And he's not a true pocket passer by no means, but he can sling it. He does well. I think I think we go in and trounce FSU, and then we got a bowl game.
Should beat the shit out of them. Yeah.
We just land Ty Jackson from USC. We flipped him today, the number 1 linebacker in the nation at one point, and then he flips to Florida, and he's no longer. I don't know how that works. OU knows about that too. Magically, you flip a kid from USC or somewhere else, and they drop in ratings. It's incredible.
He could have if they would have fired Billy. That wasn't happening. So hey, but we're talking about and you're saying like with what Oklahoma did, but if you got to think about this for a second too, Professor, is that Alabama come in and they weren't even, I think they were at like 11 in scoring offense coming in. They're still averaging 36.2 points per game after OU just held them to 3.
Yeah, the defense has not been the problem this year.
No. No.
The biggest problem with the defense is they haven't had any gas in the tank left. I mean, you can't expect the defense to really just to play 40 minutes of the game, and that's realistically what has been happening. When you don't sustain drives, it's hard to win. And we knew that this OU defense was good, right? The question was the offense with Jackson Arnold. Obviously, you've had quite a bit of injuries of late with the wide receiver group, and it's hard for everybody saying that you need depth. It's just like where we at DB. We're starting like guys that are true freshmen or like McConney McClain because we are so. I mean, we're like 6 or 7 DBs deep right now in injuries. So,
I'm not sure what this means, Jeremy. The NCAA didn't have anything to do with it. That was the SEC that fined them.
Yeah,
but I don't know what that
storming
means.
the field.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't love that. I don't love storming the field, but I would say this, and Ryman just said it. Let's be honest about it. It wasn't just that it was Bama. It's that they've had a shitty year, and nobody gave them a chance in hell of winning it. I will say most Bama fans when I was on Smook Show Friday they were like, we got to go in there and handle business. But there was a few, and there's always going to be a few. But I mean, in Oklahoma has its fair share of ass clowns too. There's some in here.
Lemon, you're right there with the wide receiver deal.
Yeah, how much depth can you have when you're on wide receiver 7 being your wide receiver 1? Yeah, it's just no way you can do it. There's just no way to do it.
I do ask you this with the running back room. You guys lost Tywee. Do you wish you would have kept him?
Oh yeah,
because he's a monster for Wisconsin right now.
He was a monster for Oklahoma last year. This is a sore subject in Soonerland. DeMarco Murray probably shouldn't have a job because here's the deal. You could be playing. So the lineup would be right now. X-Rob could be right now still going to redshirt, but he played him for 2 plays at the end of the game against Ole Miss and 2 plays. I believe it was Auburn no, not Auburn. It was a loss, 2 losses, maybe Texas. I don't remember exactly which one it was. It was but either way, he played the last 2 plays of the game. They didn't give him the football. That burned 2 of his games. Then he played against Mizzou, had a good game, and played this. Yes, we missed Tawee. But had they, if they wanted to, I mean, hell, you could have discovered him weeks ago because he's looked good all year.
Yeah.
So to me, what are my thoughts on storming the field? I don't love it, but I also understand it. I understand it. It's not something that I think Oklahoma needs to make a practice of because I'll put our resume up against, as far as being a college football blue blood and all that stuff. Now, I will say this is a different world we live in now.
The game has changed.
It was before. The game has changed. Kids have changed. They don't look at it the same way that a lot of us do.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. And so, and to be honest with you hadn't had a lot to cheer for in Norman. And in the games in Norman, they've gotten beat. They've gotten the hell beat out of them once and then lost the Tennessee game. I mean, it's pretty rare that you lose more than one game at home.
Well, I mean, think about how frustrated Gator fans are. We're one loss away from possibly being in the playoffs. You beat Texas A&M and Tennessee. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're in the conversation.
And look, here's the thing about the Texas game. You gave up 13 yards in the first quarter, had a turnover, was in their area, in their side of the field 3 times, and you had 3 points to show for it. And after that, you know, what's really happened with the defense a lot this year. It's an elite defense. There's no two ways around it. Here's what happens though: when you're not scoring, they start pressing and trying to make plays that they should not try to make. You know, trying to overdo it.
Yeah,
and then they get burned on one.
Yep. Start undercutting routes.
Just trying to cut a route or do something, to make a play, to try to, because you got to get points on your side because they're not doing it on the other side.
And that's
a lot of things contributed to what happened this season. But if you're looking at it honestly and without just being a complete, the expectation levels, sometimes people that have these expectations don't know shit about football.
Yeah.
I had a guy in here. I mean, I'm not going to say your name again, but we could. That talking about that it's not about development. It's about who you play in high school and how good you are when you come out. Bullshit.
Yeah, I gotta disagree with that. Some teams develop, some teams don't. Look at Miami. Miami's never developed well.
Well, I mean, and I would say that Cristobal, that's one thing he does pretty well, is develop better. But in the end, they're still heavy in the portal, and I don't know, man. I don't really trust Miami, but they got a hell of a quarterback. If Cam can get it, they go as far as Cam will take them, and they are talented.
Yeah,
but it's another team of mercenaries.
But again, you're a DJ Lagway. You're a DJ Lagway slip away from your season being gone for Miami. As in Cam, you're one rolled ankle, and a high possibility the way that he plays, right, with the constant scrambling and stuff like that. You're one shot away from a complete team collapse. They know it. Miami fans know it. I've started to see that they are coming back down to reality, and their biggest fear is they don't have a quarterback next year. Their next quarterback that they have that's kind of might be something is a 2026 kid. So,
well, they're going to continue to be in the portal. That's what they do.
Yeah, I don't see very many portal quarterbacks this year being all that great, though. I mean,
there's a few.
You got a lot exiting.
There's a
right?
few. We're looking at a few ourselves for having this new coordinator coming in. But I would just say that, I mean, and somebody just said it up here. If you think about all the stuff that's going on.
So you think Jackson is gone?
Oh yeah, he's gone.
Now, do you think Hawkins
after getting pulled out of the Tennessee game? No doubt about it. No, I think Hawkins stays.
Okay, so
I think Hawkins stays, and I'm good with that because, look, I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad about Jackson this weekend. He played well. I don't love it that he hasn't had a good passing game this year, and I think it's probably a good reset for both teams, for both parties involved. I don't think that he's the guy.
So you're looking for a Mertz-esque type of guy that can teach Hawkins a little bit. He's played a bunch of ball.
Up being,
maybe a year or two of eligibility left.
Well, they've got the kid coming. It looks like you're going to get the kid from Washington State. What's his name? Mateen or something like that, or he's a stud. Washington State, if that's who they end up with, well, and I don't even know. Even if Dan Mullen ends up being the OC, Mateer. That's what I meant. Mateer.
John Mateer.
He's a stud, and he's kind of got a little Baker in him. He plays like that, Now, I will say this: he's been in the Mountain West.
He's from Texas,
but he's from Texas. Yeah, Mateer. Like him though. He's a good player. But again, he's coming from the mountain. I don't know that I love that choice as coordinator, but apparently he did really well in the interview that he had with he did really well in the interview. So hopefully he got a little frozen there. You guys want to take a screenshot of the professor? Damn it. I was trying to get that face, man. I'll have to go back and get that later.
Yeah, I haven't. I've actually not seen one Washington State game. Just because
he's pretty good. He's pretty good, man. And look, I love their offense. Although I don't know that it would. From what I understand, I guess one of the big questions that Brent asked him was because they're a 60-40 pass to run team, and you can't do that in the SEC. I don't think.
No,
and
you gotta be 50-50.
That was one of the things that he immediately brought up to him, right? Apparently the answer that he gave made Venables happy. So apparently he knocked it out of the park, but that's what I'm saying. Getting a lot of love. Johns is getting a lot of love for the offense. Well, last night. Yeah, he should. Apparently it sounds like it was Kevin Johns's. I've heard people say it was his game plan.
Who's your realistic pick for OC if you were calling the shot?
Well, if I was doing it, I would give all the money I could to Will Stein and get his ass in there.
Oh, from Oregon?
Yeah.
Oof.
I don't think it's happening, but it's, that would be who I would. That's my dream guy. Now, that would be my dream. But I don't think it's a dream. I even hate saying it that way because it's fucking Oklahoma. You know what I mean? It's the SEC. He's from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good spot for him to be at. And if you look at it in terms of, the same reason that there's more. Dan Mullen, that he at first didn't sound like he was interested at all. But I think they're still talking a little bit, and there's a couple of sticking points that he's wanting to be head coach and waiting kind of shit if it doesn't work out with BV. I don't know how much I love that, because then you could just I think you would have to make sure that you get some insurance on him not just tanking.
After the Mullen project, I don't think he's a SEC coach at OU or Florida or something like that.
Hold on a minute now, Cody, before you say that. He's one of 16 coaches all time to win 100 games in the SEC, most of which were at Mississippi State. I
do understand that, but in today's trial and climate, that the guy just doesn't love to recruit. And you got to be an elite recruiter to win in the SEC. We both know that. A lot of his kids didn't even make it qualification wise. Now, could he go in there and be a transfer portal king? We don't know. And he might be a transfer portal guru. I like him at a different program. I like him at like a Virginia Tech.
As a coordinator though, he's good, right? And the one thing that I think he would do really well at coordinator for Oklahoma, because the things that Venables hadn't mastered yet, game time, game management. Let's just call it time management for sure. Some of that shit. Some of that stuff he could help him with. And they could win. And look, if you come in and win, you're going to get another job anyway. If you turn the offense back around, which I think he would definitely do that.
He is the best offensive play caller in all of college football that was a head coach calling plays. By far. It's not even close. Everybody can say, "Oh, Lincoln or Kiffin." Mullen is elite at scheming. He's got 2 national championship rings.
Yeah.
Who else has that?
As a OC?
As a play caller. Yeah, not very many.
There's a few.
Not a lot, though.
Like Sark. But Sark isn't a good head coach. He's better than he was. But I think Mullen would be the right OC. I think overall, if you're going for the guy that you can win now and he would help BV be a better CEO, I think he would help BV be a better CEO.
I think really Mullen's problem is his ego, and he wants to be the shot caller.
It's absolutely what it is, because somebody brought it up to him. He was calling that game at Tulsa, and one of the sideline reporters for the Tulsa TV or whatever said something to him about him being on the short list that Dusty Dvorak was pumping him up for it. A lot of people were talking about him. And he said, don't pump me up for that. Pump me up for a head coaching job.
Yeah.
But they were also offering him $4 million, I think, from what I'm understanding.
But he's rich as it is. It's not money. It's not money to him. It's ego.
Sark is not a good head coach, man. Come on.
It's ego with him. That's 100% it. And you know what? Okay, so what coaching positions are going to come open this year in the coaching carousel? Is there any program that he could take over that's got a somewhat good NIL program? Is Auburn going to get rid of Hugh Freeze? That's kind of a question.
No, look at where they're recruiting. They're in the top 5
for right now, but those guys don't always stick around.
I'm just saying. Well, I mean, yeah, definitely. You're gonna lose some people. Mullen is an all right OC, but does Arnold become Tebow part 2? First of all, Jackson's not gonna be here, I don't think.
Arkansas, can he take the Arkansas job? Are they done with Sam Pittman yet?
I don't know, man. I was wondering what you thought about that.
I think they are. I thought
they were done with him a long time ago, but they hadn't.
I thought they were done with him last year.
I'd like to see it be Joe Craddock, because he would bring Darian Mensah with him.
Well, here's the thing with Mullen, right? I think you would have to throw. There would have to be a lot of contingencies to get him as an OC. And do I think he goes to OU to be an OC, or he can take over Arkansas? I think he'll just take Arkansas. I really do. He's already been at a shit ass program of Mississippi State,
and the expectations aren't as high as they are at Florida.
Oh no, and they'll love to see offense at Arkansas. They haven't seen offense in decades.
Well, they were better this year with Bobby Petrino back in the fold.
Yeah,
certainly better.
Yeah, I think he could take a program over like that.
It's not too early. It's not too early.
What about Go-Go?
It's over.
What about Go-Go?
Yeah, that ain't happening.
At UNLV.
It ain't happening. They haven't even called him.
Why are these teams not calling that guy?
A lot of it may have to do with the UNLV quarterback situation that he was apparently in on, that whole NIL debacle. That's what I hear. But I got to say,
so supposedly Florida's going to be.
I like the offense myself. I love the offense. It's fun to watch, and they run well, they throw well, they do everything well out of it. But
so that's a contingency also with the retaining of Billy Napier's. He has to go get an OC allegedly from insiders that he has to go get an OC. So now you have Florida and Ole Miss looking for, or not Ole Miss, OU looking for OCs. So that doesn't help when you got two, pretty prominent programs looking for OCs at the same time. But yeah, we haven't called. What is his name? The UNLV cat. We haven't called him back. He was begging for the job last year at Florida. You're muted.
I think they talked to him last year from Oklahoma too, but it didn't go very far. So Taylor Tatum is going to be fine. He'll be fine. He'll work it out. The guy's explosive too. You don't want to get rid of one. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I know we're looking at the Pitt guy a lot.
This idea that you throw these guys are throwaway dudes is just insane to me. He was the number 1 back in the country for a reason, guys. And he's a freshman. Shit.
Yeah. Behind an offensive line that hasn't been.
It's had taken time to get it. They haven't had, how many different combinations they've had on different combinations on the line. I know the first 5 weeks it was different every week, and it's been at least I guarantee you by the time it's all over, I bet you it's at least 9.
Yeah, you can't have that. Not on an offensive line. Those guys lean on each other.
And they blame it on Bill Beaton, though. You blame it on the freaking offensive line coach whenever. Look, first of all, again, there's certain guys you can get in the portal that there's a lot of really good ones. Receivers, they come in abundance, receivers, even quarterbacks. Quarterbacks leave. But how many quarterbacks you seen that stay in the same place? Very few of them now.
Yeah.
Very few.
Don't you know DJ Lagway's leaving? He's going to USC. They gave him $3 million a year.
Who doesn't leave? The really good defensive linemen and the really good offensive linemen, because they get locked in.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to talk 11 now is what Bishop Frank says. Okay. So what I would tell you look at that 11, but think about this. You ended up having to get a few. You had to get a bunch, and we talked about why, but I'll just say this. Think about it. It didn't really work very well with some of them. Now, some of them are getting better as the year goes on. Because why? Because you have a really good offensive line coach, a really good one. Lance Hurd, they didn't overpay for him. He wasn't good at LSU. He didn't do shit at Tennessee this year either. Nothing. You can say whatever, but in the end, you have to build those guys have to be built through recruiting.
Yep.
And there were some things that were conspiring against Big Bill in recruiting at the end of the Lincoln tenure. And it caught up to him. But yes,
do you guys think you could bring in a younger offensive line coach to help out with recruiting? Not an offensive line coach.
He's probably got the best recruiting class in the country if it sticks. Michael Fasusi. I've been hearing stuff about Coleman that he's committed to Alabama, but apparently there's been some stuff out there. Then you got Ryan Foji down from Houston area. He's the same size as Michael Fasusi. He went from number 400 or something. Now he's in the top 100. Stud. And then the kid out of Utah, man, he's a stud too. Darius Afalava. The guard, he's going to be a dog. But again, I would tell you the 2023 class with EPL and Isaiah Autry-Dent and they've got some dogs in that class too. Eugene Brooks as well. They look good. And then the redshirt freshmen from this year, your guys like Heath Ozida. You had Joshua Bates was playing pretty well when they had to have him at center. He's been playing really well. You've had a lot of really good players that have just the last few weeks have really stepped in, and it's just getting better and better and better. I just think that in the end, he's recruiting fine. But you had Big Phil Lodeholt was with them, and then he ended up going over to CU. He's done a good job there too. This is all because of everything he learned from Big Bill. Look, he's kind of gruff and whatever, but if you want the guy that's going to get you ready for the NFL, you will need to come to Oklahoma, because that's Big Bill. They're not firing his ass. The people that want him fired are in fucking clowns. Period. It's silly talk.
Stephen G, I will be doing class updates after Wednesday. OU is on the list.
No. You guys got to check out the professor on High Top Recruiting. He gets it right, man. And it's his breakdowns are fun. His breakdowns are a lot of fun. He gets into it like the game's going on right now.
Yeah, for sure. I just shot the Ty Jackson video today for Florida. I've been doing a lot of Colorado stuff. I know not a lot of people like that here, but
I tell you what, though, the people that were talking all that smack, Ty Haywood, a little bit, man. A little bit. I don't know how much I believe it. I think it would maybe be more of a thing if you did lose Fasusi, then maybe. But it sounds to me like,
yeah, and you're not gonna get a true freshman offensive lineman that's really gonna be
not genuinely.
Not generally.
I think that you probably would have gotten EPL was hurt, and so was Isaiah Autry-Dent. He broke his foot. He missed a few weeks. They're both going to redshirt, but they've played and they played well when they've gotten in.
Sophomore years,
that's his dad. He's been great for the show, and we enjoy having him on. But I mean, there's a lot of freshman dudes that have contributed on both sides of the football. Look at, Eli Bowen, lockdown corner. I mean, he's stuck with Ryan Williams, and Ryan Williams is going to make plays, but he was in his pocket. He had to make amazing plays, which he does.
Well, and that's the thing when you play some of these teams, it's okay to let their guy get some, right? He's going to get some. Ryan Williams is always going to get some, but it's everybody around Ryan Williams you can't let expose you. A running quarterback, a running back to have a day like the Kansas kid had versus it's slipping my mind now. Whoever they just played and upset. You can't have that go on. So it's one of those things. But yeah, I think OU is the offensive line is certainly going to be better next year. You got to think, and these guys got to put on weight. They got to get through injury free. Their sophomore slump is kind of more for quarterbacks and DBs and stuff like that. Usually the offensive line has a big uptick in their sophomore year.
Chris, it can happen. We're not saying it never happens. It's rare that it does, though. And Banks, he was a stud when he went on campus. You're right. But it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen all the time. It just depends.
Back to the OC talk real fast. I saw something up here. Somebody put looks like Bell and somebody else, maybe.
From where is this? I didn't see that.
Up here. I saw it. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
OC. I don't think you promote from within. Again, I don't like that move.
No, they're not going to do that. And it wasn't necessarily. Well, never mind. I'm not going to get into all that shit. That's over with.
Eric Cooper. I can't.
Eric Cooper. That's Coop from Unfair Sports. That's rhyming saying that shit.
Bell. I'm guessing the guy from Pitt.
Yeah. There's been people talking about it. I don't know how serious it is.
I know he's kind of in the running.
JJ right off.
Bell and Faulkner. Stephen G had it.
Stephen G. Let's see. Shit, I ain't seeing nothing either today. So let's see. Bell and Faulkner starting to gain smoke here. Faulkner? Who the hell is this? Let me go and see what I'm looking at here. Talk to my guy. From what I can tell, it's still. Here's
Georgia
the thing.
Tech, Georgia Tech OC?
No way. That's
Buster Faulkner.
Faulkner, yeah. That better not be real.
Hey, you guys running about the same offense now.
Shut up.
I had to.
I'll call that. I don't know what just happened. Let's see. No, that ain't the one. He ain't the one, folks. He is not the one. Buster's not the one, man. They run that damn offense. And look, man, that works for them. That works for them in the ACC. You're going to have to run, but you got to – there's more to it to win consistently in the SEC. You got to be able to throw the ball. You got to be able to do it. It's just all there is to it. And I don't love that. I don't love that idea.
Bell's good.
Bell is good. He is good. I like him. I've been saying this too, is like, I don't know why you have to, like, to me, I don't know why you would settle on anybody. To me, my guy that I would want to do, I mean, they just gave GJ Kinney $2 million, whoopty shit, at Texas State. Give him $4 and let him come. He's the head coach at Texas State, but GJ Kinney is the up-and-coming dude. And you come and do what you're doing everywhere else. He was at Incarnate Word. He coached Cam Ward. They killed it. Every year he has a kid that ends up leaving him because he's at these small schools and killing it everywhere else. He's the guy. I would bring GJ in and then let him end up getting an SEC job out of there because he is that dude. That's the other guy that I've been screaming about this, and it doesn't seem like it's going there. They literally just extended him. Yeah, they gave him 7 years, $2 million a year. You can double that money for him to be a coordinator, and at OU, he would take the job. Quarterback coach that gets it done. Ooh. Screenshot that guy. Screenshot it. Come on. Oh, damn it.
What happened?
No, you're frozen.
I just I grabbed an article real fast. Joe Craddock from Tulane.
I like him. Yeah, Craddock is the other one that I've been liking too, because he would bring. They've got the number 4 offense in the country.
Yes,
scoring offense, and then like they're killing it, man. And I like Darian Mensah.
Listen,
I think you bring him in, and you get him competing with Hawkins and stuff like. I think that's a good deal.
Tulane has to. There's a lot of overcoming that Tulane has to do. Number one, they're a private school. A lot of people don't know that. Their education part is pretty hard to get into. So they're not just picking up anybody. Well, and Florida everybody State knows
bad too. Craddock does. I mean, they're wanting wanting him at Florida State also. So
I forgot Florida State has to go get a OC and a DC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy, you sure do stay on Coop's nuts there, Ryman. Yeah, you know what? Why would you wait on Baylor when you can go and be an SEC coach? That's silly talk. Chris, come on. GJ Kinney should be the guy that you make him tell you no. It's one of those guys you make him tell you no over and over and over again. That's where I'm at on it. And it's Oklahoma. It ain't Baylor. It's Oklahoma. Talking stupid shit.
Ben Arbuckle. That's
Arbuckle. One. That's the guy that everybody's saying is going to get it from Washington
How you
State.
Feel about him?
And he's been good.
Well, you get you could possibly get do a little tampering, get that
sure
quarterback
material.
You wanted.
Yeah, you can get material, but and apparently he blew away the interview. But he's only been a coach in college for about 4 years. He's young, 29. I mean, he's done a good job. He's the one that said it. The coaches say shit, Chris. Coaches say shit. Like you said that Sark is a great head coach. He's not. He's gotten better, but he's still.
I think he's maturing.
He's still 7-win Sark until he continues to do this. No, he's hit 10 wins again. He's done better. He's definitely better than he was.
Yeah, it takes some time to figure out the SEC. People think that
but I mean, coaches say shit all the time that they, In fact, Craddock said that it was a no-go unless he brought his own offensive line coach. That made when Oklahoma's like, all right, well, fuck you. And then he's like, well, we can figure something out.
Think about this, right? So
in the last offense does that in the Mountain West, though, Mars. It's in the Mountain West. I don't care.
In the last 3 years, how much has the NCAA changed in college football?
A lot.
And you have a lot.
We continue.
It's funny because there's a lot of these third-year coaches. You have that crew of Cristobal, Venables, Billy, all hired at the same time, and they've kind of gotten the brunt of it. Because if you got hired after, you still have hope and time left, right?
That's true.
Year 1 or 2. If you got hired before, you've already been established.
Well, I'll say that it looked like Sark when we were talking about Sark. Sark was, if he hadn't have done really good, see you, Ryan. If he hadn't done really good last year and gotten to that playoff. They had been talking about maybe that was going to be his last year. He got over that hump. And then they got an easy ass schedule this year. You know, they got the training wheel schedule, which is great for them. But, you know, when Oklahoma, everything that went on, plus you got a nasty schedule, it's tough. You know, I'm not telling you nothing you don't know, because being a Florida fan, you guys are the only one that got a tougher one.
Hey, and guess what? We get to get a tougher one next year because all those home games are away.
Mm-hmm.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, Mary J, you're right. It's going to continue going. And like, that's what I was going to ask you, what you thought. I asked Marcus too. Is this good for the SEC to have? I mean, are you going to get the right number of playoff teams in with 3 lost teams? Because we're beating each other up.
Yeah, it's tough. I wouldn't want to be on the playoff committee. I'm going to say this. Right.
No kidding.
It's never going to be perfect. The playoff, I mean, you go all the way back to when they used to do the BCF style and stuff like that. Somebody's always going to get left out. What you're trying to alleviate is TCU debacle, where TCU makes it and gets blown out in the national championship game by freaking 50 points. That's got to stop. And what this is going to do is make sure that doesn't happen. There's going to be a lot of
and that's what people they want to be pissed at Alabama and Texas or whatever the hell from last year at Florida State. But the truth is that TCU fucked you, not anybody else.
Well, and Florida State kind of messed themselves up by kind of almost laying an egg against Louisville. If they go out and score,
they won the game, but Louisville was hurt too. Louisville was hurt too. They weren't going to put any teams in there.
If you go and score 35 on Louisville, a pretty good defense, then you're gonna make it in. But they had no answer after their quarterback won. And how many guys do? How many teams really have an answer after QB1 goes down? Very few.
Most of them don't. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That holds true in the NFL for that matter.
I mean, realistically,
right now, the NFL is shitty quarterbacking all day long. And Mary J, I agree with that mostly. The Big Ten has got to dominate before we're going to say they dominate in this and where I'm at. Ohio State's won one damn championship in this era.
Yeah.
And same with Michigan. Those are the only two. Hell, the ACC's won as many national championships in the playoff era. It's the SEC. And the SEC will continue to dominate. I don't know that I've been saying this. I like Oregon. I think they may be the best team in the country right now, but I don't know that they are.
Boy, it's tough after that Wisconsin game. And then a bye week.
I tell you what, Mateo Uiagalelei is a dog, isn't he?
Yeah, he's good. He's so good. They got a lot of guys that are good. I mean,
their defense is really good, and that's what I like about them.
Jordan James does not get enough credit for explosive as he is as a running back because he played for Oregon.
I like him.
Yeah, it's just like Bucky Irvin last year. You know, he's dominating the NFL right now, and it's like these cats at Oregon just don't get a lot of glimmer at the running back position. I'll say this though. I don't think the Big Ten really helped themselves out as much as they thought they did with bringing in some of these programs. It just seems kind of like
made the rest of them look bad. Made the rest of them look bad.
Yeah.
As far as Oregon, I mean, they've been beaten. Now the Wisconsin game, I think you
made it more. You made it more top heavy. The SEC didn't make it more top heavy. The SEC bringing in Texas and Oklahoma made it a harder
more competitive because they went away from the. I think going away. What do you think about this? Because even Marcus said that he felt like going away from the divisions may have hurt the SEC because it's a murderer's row schedule for somebody.
Yeah,
and you're going to end up eating each other alive.
Yeah, and what do you do?
Unless you get used to starting to see, as far as being in the playoffs, because all SEC playoff would really piss people off. Well, yeah, it's going to piss people off, but if they don't get at least 4 in, the SEC and Big Ten, if they don't get 8 in, they're liable to run off and do their own thing. Big Mike Boganowski, welcome to the show, sir. About freaking time,
bro. I know, right? It's crazy out here, man.
Did y'all get a ride?
Riding around OKC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all find a ride or what?
Well, it is looking. He's got that got that young and they got that young taste right now, not the realistic taste, right? He's
Hellcats, huh?
shoot. No, he ain't there, but he's we got to bring him down to earth a little bit. It was reasonable. It was reasonable.
What's wrong with a pickup truck? You know what I mean?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this Chevy's right over here, real tough, man. Let's go look at him. Nah.
He wants a car, huh?
Yeah.
He wants a slick
Sports
ride.
car.
Yeah, oh yeah. No sports car. We already had that conversation in insurance, so.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I didn't storm the field, man. I'm too old for that. I got bad hip, bad ankles, bad back. And yeah, I'm not hopping. I'm not hopping doing any unnecessary stuff. We stood there and just took it in, man. No, I just took it in.
What's your feelings about doing that though? What did you think about it?
I didn't mind it. I did mind the premature storm.
No, I didn't like that one either.
I didn't like that either. I mean, that was just dumb. Like, pay attention, man. Get off your phone and pay attention. Pay attention to that. I mean, it ended up costing them $200,000. I saw on Twitter this morning. Got fined $200,000 for that.
I'm dropping the bucket, man. Come on.
Yeah, just wow. But yeah, man, it was
stupid, though.
Hey, man, you know, I'm sure you guys talked about it or whatever, but I got to give my synopsis, man. That was a good old fashioned ass whooping. They whooped that ass, man.
Because he plays in Norman. That's why.
Hey, Neilio, I got a guy at Briggs now. I got a guy there. Don't think I don't when I do, because I do. But yeah, man, we're down in OKC right now.
Yeah, come on now. You know better than me,
when you run the veer, it's hard to beat, bud.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, man. They're lucky it wasn't 34-0 or 34-3. You know, it was.
True.
They had the one touchdown pass that got dropped, and then there was a couple. They had opportunities.
They left some points out there, man. They left some points, and you know, I don't know if you guys talked about this, but this, you know, one of the most impressive things and what I liked, is you didn't see a lot from the defense, like last minute calls. You saw them get set and you saw them ready. And you obviously when Alabama changed or checked or something, we checked too. So there was some, but I think as a defense and as a staff, they did a hell of a job getting the call in early. And you know, we out physical them, man. We beat them up.
They were in their bag with them. And I mean, we talked about this a lot. We talked about it all last week. Remember that you're gonna have to get to him early, not let him run. You got to hit him. And Danny hit him on the second play. He knocked his ass. That boy didn't want to run after that. Huh?
Yeah, dude, he tapped. Yeah, he tapped. Milroe was like,
he didn't want to run. And here's the thing with Milroe. He's a great player. I'm not taking shots at Jalen Milroe. Great player. But kind of similar to Jalen Hurts. He's not that guy from 12 to 25 yards where you got to be super accurate. He's good with running the ball and hitting deep balls. The explosive plays, very good with the deep ball. But you got to have a clean pocket. And if I said this when I was on Coach Smoot's show the other day, I said, look, I think that I didn't pick Oklahoma to win, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I did. I didn't.
No.
But what I said was, I think you can make it hard on him if they can keep him in the pocket and get a lot of pressure on him. They need to hit him some. You know, they don't need to let him run. If he gets going with his legs, he'll kill you with his arm. Yeah. And Ryan Williams, holy shit. But Eli was in his pocket all day.
Dude, I told you.
He had to work for everything.
Eli's sticky, bro. He's sticky. He's sticky as shit, bro. He's like white on rice, bro.
I think the biggest transition for this Alabama team is they've always had really good running backs, and that's kind of
but in question this year. They only got a few carries. I mean, they're running that read option look too, and Milroe keeps it too much.
And another thing too is like minus Williams at wide receiver, who's their other guys? I mean, they're just it's kind of
well, that dude, I can't remember what his name is, but he had that first catch right down the middle of the field at the 50, and I was a hell of a throwing catch. And
Bernard,
at that point in the game, Bernard, yeah. I was kind of
Yeah.
like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit, here we go. Because that was
But
a hell
the
of a
thing
throw
was-
and catch.
Well, he's had to make those hella throws and catches like that one that, you know, that it should have been a touchdown. It looks like at this point. I'm seeing that. And I'm not look, the officiating is what it is. We've seen it all year. You've had bad calls on everybody. But that still would have been one touchdown. It just makes it look less bad. The truth is that was a throw it up there and pray. And Ryan Williams is that dude.
Hey, I saw a guy on Twitter, I don't remember who it was, but he's like, I don't care about that play. He's like, was that play worth 21 points? He's like, shut the F up. Like, you know what? He's right, man, because
I don't think
probably wouldn't have mattered.
Most Alabama fans haven't been going there though, that I've noticed.
Yeah, they all. I saw a bunch of the Bama fans that I know from back home. They came down to the game, man, and I talked a little shit, but they pretty much conceded that they got their butts whooped, and they knew what it was.
Look, I mean, like I said, I didn't talk a bunch of shit last week because I knew better. The expectation wasn't there. I love this football team. I've been saying that this defense is absolutely elite all year. I've gotten a lot of hell for that, but they proved it this weekend. They've proved it a lot over the year that nobody runs the ball on them. Yeah, he's just 17. Mary J, you ain't wrong. The dude is 17 freaking years old. And the thing is like he had to work for everything. And same with Eli. Eli Bowen is a stud. But I would say, I mean, hey, man, I would love to have a kid like that. That dude is unbelievable.
Ryan Williams, that dude is going to be in the NFL before he's 19 years old.
Yeah, he's going to
be going into the league.
Before he turns 20. Before he turns 20.
Dude, that is unbelievable, dude. That dude, if he continues on a trajectory, dude, he's gonna make so much money. He's essentially got like an extra year's worth of contracts in the league because he's getting in there so quick. It is, dude, that blows my mind. And for all these kids that like to reclass backwards, to like get a better rating.
Oh wow.
Pay attention to what Ryan Williams is doing, bro. Get in there early and get that extra year or two of making money.
And that'll bump your draft stock also because teams know that you're young. There's not a lot of tread on the tires, right?
Yeah, dude. Crazy.
Crazy. He's the only player in Alabama history to be Mr. Alabama football 2 years in a row. And that was as a sophomore and a junior.
Yeah.
Freak a league, bro. Like Petey Pablo, freak a league.
The only guy recently that I remember being young and that good is a Wisconsin running back 2 years ago. What was his name?
Was he that young?
Who?
Yeah, he was like 18.
Yeah. Hey, they did a great job. They did a great job on the defense. They were hitting. I mean, you just didn't get anything easy. That was the thing. And by the time halftime, I keep saying this, but I keep going back to that play right before the half, and they got that first down run. Milroe, they called it. It was a design run play. He gets it. They were closing in. His ass went to the ground. He didn't want to get hit. The dude didn't want to get hit.
That play where Eli come up and grabbed onto a leg and stopped him, dude. If he would have kept running up the middle in between those blocks, first down all day. But he didn't want that smoke. Eli, he was like my fourth and fifth graders that I coach in football.
He hit him hard with that first one. That first one was hard.
Milroe got to the point where like my fourth and fifth graders, like they don't want to hit the hole because they know what's in there. They know there's contact brewing, right? So those young kids are always gonna bounce it outside.
Oh yeah,
that's what he started doing, dude. He knew it was coming, so he's like,
the hard yards come between the tackles, baby. The hard yards come between the tackles. Yeah.
Not too many youngsters are gonna hit it up in the middle and read those blocks. And that's when he did that in the game, I was like, damn, that looks like the shit I was coaching this year.
Yeah.
Braylon Allen. He plays for the Jets now. He's 20 years.
Yeah.
He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
So he was at Wisconsin at 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Braylon Allen's a bad dude too. He's a bad dude too.
Crazy. Yep. Crazy.
I mean, you just didn't see it back in the day. Freshmen didn't even play.
Who was that kid that was with the Jets though? That's like, is that he was with?
Him.
It is him. Okay.
Yeah, Braylon Allen.
That's the cat that comes in and spells
or whatever. He hadn't even 21
Brees Hall.
Yeah. That's him.
Oh, Brees Hall. Brees Hall was Iowa State.
Yeah, Brees. Yeah, he backs him up. He comes in and spells him. That's that cat. I think it's Zero. I think his name's Zero or number 0 or 8 or something like that. Yeah.
Zero. You're right.
Miro tried to come through and slide tackle Kid Lewis on that pick, bro. That's funny stuff right there. That just goes to show you he didn't want none of that either, man. He just come through and tried to.
Well, and again, I'm not hating on the kid. I mean, you got to take you can take a licks, and he's played so well. I think the problem that I've seen when they don't play well, it's that they don't get the running backs involved, and he's not able to run. And then
we made him one-dimensional.
Made him one-dimensional. And that's what we said he had to do.
That's any football team.
Yeah.
Any football team. Make him one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Start pinning your ears back, getting after him, start throwing them exotic blitzes, making the ball got to get out early. Like, you're winning at that point, man.
When you get to that 10-yard spot, that 10, 12-yard spot, that's when those passes have to be on the money. You can't be late. You cannot be 6 inches to the left or 6 inches to the right. You got to throw it to the right spot. Because if you don't, it's going to go the other way, especially in the SEC with these guys. And that's the only issue that I see with Jalen Milroe. And I wondered about that before the year because you saw last year kind of the same thing, that they knew that they had to get him going running the ball first. They were like, well, they messed with his delivery. It looks a lot better. Man, it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that, to change somebody's throwing motion in 1 year's time and expect them to not default back to who they are.
Yeah.
And I mean, go ahead.
I think DeBoer did a good job of tailoring his offense to Milroe's strength instead of vice versa, right?
But when you go up against somebody like Brent Venables, he's going to make you he's going to expose your weaknesses and make you play. He's going to make you do that with your weaknesses.
Bill Belichick did the same thing in the NFL. It's the same shit, man. Take something away. Take away their strength and try to make.
We're going to make you beat us doing this, what you don't like to do. Where that's all you have to do, and that's what Brent Venables is the best at.
You got to think DeBoer too, man. He had Penix. He had that trio of wide receivers. He had a good running back. I'm not saying the cupboards were empty when Saban left, but definitely it's just a different style
in the country, bro. But it's going to take a little while to. I'm not pulling the plug on Kellen DeBoer, but
some people are, boys. Some people are not happy.
I know.
Don't do it. Just say the same people that want to pull the plug on BV. Like you can't take them serious.
Clowns.
You can't take them. I can't take them serious. Like those people, I can't take them serious. Like you just got to Bama, bro. Like it's Bama. It's Kalen DeBoer. Go look at his resume.
Now he's lost 15 games in his career. 15.
Yeah. Go look at his resume, dude. Everywhere he goes, he wins. And usually it's a championship.
Way better. Year two's always way better for him.
And it's usually a championship. Yeah, dude. Come on, man. I can't even acknowledge you if you're talking about get rid of DeBoer already.
Yeah.
Like you're so entitled. Those people with that take at Alabama are so entitled and are so spoiled with the Saban era. Like you guys snap back to reality, come down to earth with the rest of us.
Mary J, you're not one of those Tide fans wanting to roll him out of town yet, are you? She says, "Who the hell are we supposed to pick?" Yeah, who would you go get? Who are you going to go get that's so much better? Fair weather, she says. Fair weathers. There you go.
It's kind of like it's kind of like
hard to follow the
Bill Belichick was asked his last year in New England before he got fired or quit or whatever they did, but. He was like, the media was like, well, the fans have been with you from, good times through thick and thin. And he was like, hey, there ain't been very many thin times here. I can tell you that. It's just like you gotta tamper your expectations. Everything has changed. In the last 3 years, this isn't the same college football as it was 12 months ago.
I think it's different. And I think that it's going to take some time to get his thing going. Now, do I know that? Am I going to tell you that I think he's the perfect guy for that job? I don't know. I think we'll find out. But I know this. He's won a lot of damn football games.
Well, there's no perfect coach, and there's no perfect coaching.
No, but I mean, is he perfect for Alabama? Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's not a good coach.
We don't even know if that guy exists right now.
Sometimes, yeah. Listen, is there a perfect coach to replace Nick Saban? Shit, that's tough.
No,
dude. A lot of people. There's people that are on record are saying I'm not going there after Saban. Like I'm not following that up. And Kalen DeBoer had enough stones to take it on. So I mean, that tells you enough about him right now.
Just watch. You just watch Josh take on his show. Josh who?
Josh Patty. I think he's saying about Josh Pate.
Pate State. He hates OU. Bama's good. They beat Georgia. OU just dominated them, plain and simple. What is it? Was it Josh Pate?
Listen, man, you got to give Oklahoma their flowers, bro. Like, don't just because Oklahoma beat Alabama, you cannot discount Alabama as a bad football team because that's not the case, dude. Oklahoma's a good out of football.
Georgia. They were almost well. They ended up having to hold on, but they beat Georgia.
Is a good team. They just had some serious difficulties and issues on offense, man. And guess what, man? They figured out a formula. And I don't know if you can sustain running Jackson that much, but like he's got to be featured in the run game. And if we could do, look, everybody knows it, everybody sees it. We've done that against Missouri. We probably beat them by 2 or 3 scores just like this.
Yeah,
we got a little pass happy, man. Yeah, we got a little pass happy, and you know, I'd be on pace to win my over bet that I placed at the beginning of the year. But
I won mine.
What it is.
I just won mine this weekend. 4.5 for Florida. Yep. I was like, pound that thing.
Yeah. Well, I thought the same thing. I think I got in when it was 7.5. And I was like, yeah, they're getting that. Little did I know we were just gonna have the injury plagued, you know, the injury
worst offense in Oklahoma history. Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have thought? But man, listen, what we saw Saturday night was just the tip of the iceberg, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, that defense, man, when they aren't constantly out on the field and we can control the ball and the clock, that's what you're getting.
You had almost 10 minutes more, no turnover. Yeah. You weren't turning the ball over.
That's what you're gonna get.
You only had the one turnover.
We're gonna win a lot of games.
I'm gonna say that
it's happening, people. Be scared. Be very scared because let us get this offense fixed and watch out. Watch out.
And here's the thing about it. You don't have to have. I was saying this earlier. I said this last night on with Legend and Coach Ricks and Bishop Frank. They were talking about, well, what do you think is going to happen? How long? I said I would. I'd been saying 2025 was my expectation for them to go after the Natty, and you have to kind of adjust it because I don't know what's going to happen with quarterback. It looks to me, I'm still going to tell you that I think Jackson's gone. I know not everybody thinks that. I do. If I'm wrong, I'll happily say that I was wrong. But I'll just say this: they're going to bring in whoever they bring in, and he's going to bring somebody in the portal. They need to compete, and you got to compete for the job. That's the way I feel about it. But I will say this: they can beat. They don't have to be a top 10 offense. That's not what you need. You probably need a top 30 offense to go with this defense because it'll be more. A top 30 is going to be more complimentary. Now, you can still be explosive. You can still score a lot of points. But you need to control the clock. You need to control the game. You need to run the football.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not positive that I love the Arbuckle idea because he's 60-40 the other way. Passing. Yeah. And he's doing this in the Mountain West. It's still the Mountain West. I mean, I get it. I know why people like him. I like his offense. It looks good. We haven't really seen that work in the SEC yet.
Well, and here's the thing too: is the Sooner fans gotta realize that this isn't the Big 12 anymore. I mean, you have any team can beat you in the SEC any given weekend, and we've seen it week in and week out with Vandy and other teams. Florida shocking LSU and Ole Miss. It's one of those things. It's just it's a tougher league, from bottom to top.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Jay can't be fixed. I'm telling you this is the way that it goes in college football. And how many times do you see one guy stay at the same place for 4 quarterbacks just don't stay? And I felt like from the day that they pulled him out of the Tennessee game that he was gone.
Yeah.
That's just my feeling on it. And he's never committed to it. He's never committed to staying. You know what I mean? Hey, Timothy Green, welcome to the show, my man. Well, you got Mike over there looking at cars.
Yeah, they just walked out with his mom. It looked like about to test drive something. I see what's going on. I was just about to hang up, but go. I don't want him in there trying to finesse my wife. You know what I mean? So I was getting ready to get out of here, but since they're gonna go get on the ride, I'm gonna stick around for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
don't let them get him.
Yeah.
Don't let them get him. They better not be getting him. He's a Sooner. Come on,
my wife don't play though. My wife, she's a.
I was going to say you probably sent her. You sent in the dog.
She's about that money, man. She knows about them
I
finance
know.
numbers and how they move. That's what she
does.
That's what she does.
Got a question for you.
What's up, Timothy Green? Thank
you. Being a father, you know, of a D1 athlete, how from the recruiting from the start of recruiting to where you're at now, how do you feel your pick with OU was? Do you feel like it's you know been what they told you it was going to be?
I mean, what do you mean, like total, like how, what the
just
program
like
and
yeah, program, coaching, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it all jives, man. Like that, and that's one of the reasons that, you know,
because there are horror stories out there of
100%. That's a fact. Yeah. No, I don't. Everything lines up, man, and you know that's why we were diligent and took our time and didn't just, you know, pop at the first thing. But yeah, this Oklahoma is everything it cracked up to be. The coaches say what they mean and they mean what they say. Now, you know, can anybody predict that you're going to have the injury bug of the century with any receivers and O line? No. You know, have we lost Kendall Dobie? You know, so that's and it looks like we might have lost another receiver this game. But I mean, you know, you can't predict that, man, and you can't control that. You know, that stuff happens. But yeah, everything that we were told and what was the envision of the program and where it's going, like it all tracks. And you know, there's just a little derailment and a little bit of an issue on offense. But if there's one thing I know about Brent Venables, he's gonna get it fixed. He's not above. You know, he's self-reflective. He knows the issues and he's gonna fix it. And like I just said, man, watch out. Watch out because you know everybody wants to pile on Oklahoma. Go ahead and pile on. Watch. You see it. You just don't want it. You don't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
What you saw Saturday night, like that's just a harbinger. That's a big word. You know, that's a harbinger for what to come. That's big. That's like the far end of my vocabulary right there, harbinger. But you know, that's
pretty good. It's a pretty good word.
How do you? What is your? How do you feel about how like you know, a lot of kids don't even stay places.
I'll go to the restroom. We've been going forever. I'll be right back.
A lot of kids, you know, they hop in the transfer portal. We've seen, you know, kids 4 years go to 4 different programs. How do you feel about that, especially with all the so like supposedly USC offered DJ Lagway $4 million a year is what's out on Twitter now, which he's not going anywhere. I don't think so. But how do you think that affects some of these kids with stuff like that?
And so I'm not a big fan of it, but I also understand that not everybody is in the same position as, you know, Michael is from a family perspective, from a financial perspective. And I don't hate on those kids. You know, everybody's got a reason for it, you know, whether it's to get more money, which I got it. I'm good with it. Whether it's to get more playing time, you know, if it's a situation that you don't like, you know, or you know, maybe you don't like your coach or whatever, I get it. But what I don't like about it, and this is probably the only dislike, is running from a problem. As soon as you face some adversity, you just pack up and move to the next best thing or
Yeah.
the easiest path to success. That's what I don't like about it. But, I'm for the players getting paid. I'm for them, putting themselves in the best situation to be successful. And, I'm all for it. But, at the first sign of adversity, jumping ship and going the easiest path, I'm not a fan of that. There has to be some struggle. You have to be able to endure and you got to persevere. But, four schools in 4 years, man, that's
we've seen it.
Much. That's a little much for me. Yeah,
we've seen it a lot. I was just kind of wondering from a parent aspect because so like my son is still in Pop Warner, and the dream for us is obviously not even D1, like D. If he can go to college and get and get an education for free,
dude, that's huge. That's huge.
And be a guy somewhere. Like he doesn't have to be a guy at Florida or a Power 5 program, but for him to be a guy somewhere, that would be super awesome. I think that's every guy's dream that has a son that's pretty decent at football. He led the league this year in sacks, tackle for losses, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was exciting for us, and we've put it. We do the extra work when everybody's playing video games. We do the extra work, tackling drills outside, stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. But I was kind of wondering as a parent, because the game it seems like it's changing monthly. With transfer and NIL and everything, it just seems like man, it's just it constantly changes. And I think if you can do what BV is doing and Billy Napier is doing and recruiting the way that they recruit, you talk to their kids and they're extremely sound kids. I think that's the way to go.
Well, and that's the thing is that the recruiting is underrated. I was talking about that earlier. I've said it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Boganowski. I mean, Teddy Lehman played. Teddy Lehman played with freaking Roy Williams, Superman, they called him. And before Mike's really got his opportunity to play, because he's a true freshman this year, he said that he's the best safety he's ever seen at Oklahoma. That's a lot to say about a freshman kid. And I mean, but he's waiting his turn. But when he gets in there, the dude hits like, whoa.
Yeah, that's what I loved his film when I broke his film down last year.
Yeah, and that's what Professor here, man. He's the recruiting guy over at High Top. They got a great show, but his stuff has been going really good. So this is what we talked about. You start talking about guys like him. You start talking about guys like Isaiah Autry-Dent. You start talking about guys like Reggie Powers. These guys are underrated players.
Yeah,
underrated players. You start talking about. Look, Jaden Jackson. I mean,
he wasn't a 5-star. I don't know how. I really don't know
Jaden Jackson. If he's a 3-star or 4-star or whatever, and he starts every game from week 1 in the SEC and has graded out great every week, how the fuck is that kind of a 5-star? And he went to IMG.
Well, because I think Stoney stole a little bit of thunder. They thought he was with a good line at IMG, and that happens. That happens to kids.
It does, and you're right. You're right about that. But I would say that when they would double team him, Stoney got off. When they double team Stoney, he got off.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was no answer for him.
You got that trio. You got that trio in the back.
Jaden Rowe.
You got Hardy, Jaden Hardy.
Oh, Hardy.
Do not sleep on Hardy.
Oh, dude, no, he's a dog. He's a dog. They're all hitters. Big hitters.
Yeah.
There's nothing better for DBs than a good pass rush or a good defense.
Hey, Professor,
line.
you should have seen Boganowski in the Auburn game ate a freaking guard's lunch. Came down and that dude didn't want to get up. It's one of the nastiest things I've ever seen.
He banged him. Yeah, he banged him. Oh, they pulled up.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of those kids out there too.
There's not. And this kid he just loves that hitting. But Hey man, I know we gotta let you go. Go make
bro.
sure you get this
I
right.
appreciate you guys, man. Sorry I got in here a little late, but I got a responsibility. I got to fulfill some parenting. As soon as you think you get one out of the house, it don't stop.
So it doesn't stop costing you money after 18.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. I ain't paying. Nope.
It gets more expensive.
I got a raise when he left. I'm just talking about parenting responsibilities. You still got to parent a little bit. Maybe not financially, but
not in the NIL era. If he goes to Oklahoma, he should get some money. I know he didn't get a ton yet, but he's about to. He's about to do it.
It's all good, man. You got to work your way up, man. I've never been a fan of coming out of high school, securing the bag out of high school like that. I mean, because bro, you gotta earn.
Well, they're gonna have to take care of some guys that if you want to keep them around, they're gonna have to take care of some of those guys on that defense, right?
Gotta earn that shit.
Look at how much Cormani got paid, and now he's a walk-on.
Yep. You never know, man. Like at a certain point, it's gonna level out, man. It's gonna level out. Sooner or later, I got you, bro.
All right,
but
man.
Y'all have a good one, man. I appreciate y'all.
Good talking
Boomer
to you.
Sooner. Let's go. We're coming.
Right, hey,
like Prime out there in Colorado. We coming.
All right, bro. Have a good one, man. Y'all have fun.
Yeah. See you later. Bye.
Later.
I gotta hop off here and make lunch for the.
Yeah, it's time to go for me too, man. We've been going for almost 3 hours. We generally cut it off at 3 hours anyway, so that's good. But tell everybody where to find you, man. It's getting to be your time of year.
Oh yeah,
your time. It's like Santa Claus is coming to town when you watch this show.
Yeah. So, listen, guys, I've changed the format a little bit to High Top Sports Recruiting. I do the individual players just because it's better for the algorithm. So, after Wednesday, I will do the entire Sooner class, each individual player, 7 minutes a pop, 8 minutes a pop. So you get every single player. It doesn't matter if they're offensive line. It doesn't matter if they're gonna fill in to play a little D tackle and water boy. It doesn't matter if they're ranked not nationally. I don't care. I break down all the film.
They got a good class here too. You're gonna like this one.
Very good class. We will be live all day Wednesday. So go ahead on High Top Sports and High Top Sports Recruiting. We will be live breaking down the flips. It's gonna be wild. Watch out.
Day?
Yep, for signing day Wednesday. We will be live all day. That's kind of our thing. We're gonna do it more like an NFL draft. I'll be breaking down the kids as they sign their letter of intent, which I know isn't a thing anymore.
So what day is that? The 5th, right?
That's no, this Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Should be this Wednesday.
It's not this Wednesday, bro. No way.
I think so.
The season's not over. They wait till after the conference championships before they do signing day. Come on now. It's like the 9th or something, isn't it?
Oh, 5th. You're right. The 5th.
The 5th. Yeah.
Tripping. So,
I was like, what the hell?
Next Wednesday off. Yeah. So we will be live Wednesday the 5th for National Signing Day. Can't wait for that. So it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it starts on that. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And look, man, it's like I said, and you got a lot of guys that came to watch your channel from the Sooner group. Like I said, you want me to jump on with any of that kind of stuff, and let's talk about it. We can do that. Happy to jump in there with you guys always.
For sure.
Kind of pissed off at Shelton right now, but it is what it is.
It's Shelton.
No, I like Shelton, man. I'm just messing around.
It's
gonna be a lot of fun.
I'll say this. Like I said, after National Signing Day, be on the lookout because I am going to pump out a bunch of OU videos and sequence of who you guys get. Maybe you guys get a couple flips. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be fireworks. Next Wednesday is gonna be pretty wild. I think maybe Coach Prime grabs another 5-star that nobody knows about. He always seems to.
They've been on a tear, haven't they?
Yeah, they just got Julian Lewis.
I knew that one, but they've been catching a lot of guys and apparently receivers and stuff too. So that's one thing. The people that think the Prime's leaving to the NFL, better think again.
Michigan's on a tear right now. They flipped Underwood.
Yeah,
Bryce
man.
Underwood, #1 quarterback in the nation.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is BK going to survive that?
Okay, so Baton Rouge is not happy. His recruiting class is falling apart as we speak. They have not looked good on the field, and I think OU possibly puts a dagger in them this coming weekend, and that's it.
Man, I hope so, but I mean,
listen,
look, I want to. Here's one thing: momentum definitely plays because,
yes,
and they're going the wrong way with momentum, and Oklahoma should have some. Now you have to play well.
Him coming out and screaming at the wide receiver that he's effing uncoachable. That doesn't look good. Also, there has been concerns.
Listen, I don't really have a problem with that because if you're not, but what I have a problem with it for is because why didn't you do that shit at the first of the year when they were like playing like they were shooting people?
Yeah, it's all fun and games till you're losing.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is if you're going to be disciplined, you got to be disciplined all the time.
Well, he's never really had a disciplined team.
Right.
It's always been wild. Yeah, they're not happy in Baton Rouge. I think he makes it maybe one more year because they hired an entire defensive staff.
So much money involved in it right now that you would have to pay through the nose.
But I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna have to go in the portal heavy because I think their recruiting class is really about to fall apart with
and they've continued to, and last year whenever I was saying it last year when Oklahoma got Dominic Williams and they were so sure they were going to. And then he immediately blames, well, these kids want to get bought and we're not in the business of buying players. Dude, shut up. LSU buys women's basketball players. Shut up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The only thing they don't buy is wide receivers because it's something in the water down there that they just produce elite wide receivers. It's
they don't have to. I think that there's a factory for them down there. I think they just print them out of there.
Yeah, they got a cloning machine.
Done. Yeah.
Yep. But minus that, and you just lost your staple guy. You lost the number one quarterback in the nation of this recruiting class, and you've lost him.
It can kind of fall apart, right?
It will fall apart because a lot of those players, wide receivers, tight ends, yeah, that they had like the number one wide receiver, the number one tight end. Also, those guys are probably going to leave.
Yeah.
The quarterback is the center point of your recruiting class.
You can tell Mary J's a Bama fan.
All right, guys, I got to go make some lunch for the kiddos. I will see you later.
Man, I appreciate you coming on. Always good to see you, Professor. Thanks
always good. No problem.
Make sure you guys get over to High Top Sports. High Top Recruiting has its own channel, High Top Recruiting. He is the guy. He's a Florida guy, but he covers recruiting for the whole country. He was on it. I tell you what, this guy, he seems to know what they're going to do too. Their NFL draft coverage the last 2 years, he kills it. You want to talk about he calls the draft picks in advance. The 2 years ago, I think he missed 3 out of the first round that they were out of order. Mel Kiper ain't got shit on my boy who get banned by the WNBA, huh? Yeah, love it. That's funny stuff. Some Subway sandwich achieved. He is the guy. All right. Jerry Schmidt still knows strength and conditioning. Youth are still raw in his workouts. I don't think it has a whole lot to do with that. I think they're good. I think they're good to go on. Coach Schmidt knows what he's doing for sure. No doubt about that, folks. No doubt about it. Guys, we have been going for almost 3 hours. I do want to, what we'll do is we can close out. I don't know if you guys saw this coming in, but I'll play this video that we have here. It's just kind of a highlight deal that on the way out. But I would say, hey guys, make sure that you jump over there. Take a look at our pod merch store. We've got the Alabama State champion shirt in there as well. No offense, Mary J, but it's for the boys. Alabama State champs. Get in there, check that one out. We got a lot of horns down stuff in there. Listen, if you want your licensed whatever gear from wherever, make sure you jump into our Hall of Fame partner site with Fanatics. It's hofmedia.us/fanatics. That's hofmedia.us/fanatics. You can jump over there and get all your stuff. We get the best deals of the day, period, when you use our Fanatics partner site. So jump in there and make sure you do that. You can also, as I said, jump in there and take a look at our pod merch store. We got a lot of different stuff in there that I think you'll like. It's hoodie season. We got some good hoodies in there and a lot of really cool different stuff. I'm about to add another hat in there as well. T-Boomer, if you're still in there, I'll send you an email back. I think you may have grabbed the other one. Maybe that wasn't the right one. Also, if you're looking to save money on your wireless, you should definitely take a look at Mint Mobile. It's the largest 5G network in the country. 3 months at $45 for 3 months. Right now, they started a new promotion on Mint Mobile. It's actually, you can pay for 2 months, get 1 month free of the lower level, not the full unlimited talk, text, and data like the one I'm showing up here. That's still the best deal, in my opinion. $45 for 3 months. You pay that up front. You can use the phone that you have. You still get 5G, everything. I switched over. It's been, 6 months now. Saving all kinds of money on 2 phones. You should definitely check it out. TryMintMobile.com/HOF. It's TryMintMobile.com/HOF. Get over there and check it out, guys. The easiest way to support our program. Just make sure that you hit that like button when you come in. I am absolutely in agreement there. Sooner legend. The buck kiss belongs to Danny Stutzman. He is the best. He's the best linebacker in the country, no doubt. All right. Yeah, he did. Yep, we talked about that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Mary J., thank you. Glad to see you come in here, and I'm glad that you got and hung around with us for a while. Appreciate you, Derek. Good to see you, man. Yep. We will be back in here tomorrow night with the coach. We're going to talk some Notre Dame football. We're going to see what they're all about. Look, guys, I think the people that think that they're just a nobody team, think you might be in for a little rude awakening. Notre Dame has a real deal defense. They're physical, and they now have an offense to go with it. Looks like they're going to be, I think they're a player for this thing. I know they lost that earlier in the year. They weren't playing great offense then. Denbrock had to get his system going. We'll talk about that more with Coach tomorrow night on Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the Coach, the live stream, 8:30 Eastern time, right here on the channel. And then we'll be back here for Rise and Shine on Wednesday morning, 10:15 Eastern time, 10:15 a.m. Eastern time, right here on at HOF-CFB on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming in. See you all on the next one.